Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode number 52 of Boutique Talk. My name is Jake Boston, otherwise known as Steelbook Obsessed on all your major social media platforms. And if you want to listen to all things physical media related, then you've come to the right place. Every episode, I have on a guest to talk about their physical media journey, but I've already had this guest on to talk about that. His unique way of organizing his collection and his thoughts on the boutique label Criterion and the film Fantastic Planet. So let's dig a little bit deeper this time and bring on DJ from Films by Color back onto the podcast. DJ, how's it going, man?
Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks for having
It's
me
going.
back.
It's going. I am excited to talk about this, but I'm not super prepared. I feel like it's just going to flow out of me. We kind of wanted to touch upon the differences in boutique labels and the way that they package their products and some pros and cons that kind of go with that. And it's something I've never really thought too much of before, but the longer I thought about it, the more I'm like, oh, there's a lot of meat on this bone for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I have been jealous of all the great conversations you've been having lately because you kind of switched gears with the podcast from like just talking about one movie to like having these collector discussions. And I was like, that looks like a lot of fun. I want to get in on one of those because I love talking about this nerdy stuff. Warning to the viewers, this is going to be a very nerdy episode. We're
Yes,
going to get into
if you're a physical media collector and you want to get deep in the weeds, like this is the episode for you, because we're going to get into a lot of the positives and negatives of a lot of different packaging from a lot of different boutique labels, and I'm kind of foaming at the mouth to do so. But before we get started here, since we already know how your physical media collecting journey has started, since you've been on about like 9 months ago, what has happened since we talked to you last?
Well, I guess the biggest thing since the last time we talked is I started working with some of the boutique labels, like you, and nowhere near to your level, but I've started working with Def Crocodile. That was the first company I ever reached out to, and they were, I think I was like the first person that reached out to them because they responded right away, and that was super cool of them. I've been working with them and Imprint and a little bit with Umbrella with you.
Mhm.
Thanks for bringing me on. We worked on a box set together that's coming out soon.
Yeah.
So that's really changed the kind of trajectory of the channel because you have to balance not only like what you're buying and collecting, but you also have to make time to promote or at least showcase some of the stuff that you're getting in the mail. So that's been a challenge. I know you got tons of stuff coming in too, so that's a lot to keep up with, and you got to really work on like priorities and time management and stuff. But other than that, as far as collecting goes, I've hit like a wall with space. So I have had to really start getting more picky with what I choose to collect. I can't keep everything anymore.
Mhm.
I've started cycling stuff out. I've started trading. That was another thing that you got me into. I've
Yeah.
actually did a really big trade recently with a guy who just a viewer who hit me up on Instagram, and we did some really cool trades recently. So that'll be upcoming soon on the channel. But yeah, the collection's coming along. I don't know how much longer I'll be called Films by Color because I
Oh,
rearranged the shelves and they're by boutique label now, at least
yeah, there's
here.
a lot of white back there I see now. It's all scattered all over the
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, some of it. I mean, a lot of it's here because we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. So there's a lot of
Mhm.
blank space. But I rearranged by boutique label, and I really like it. It's fun to have all of your boutique labels just lined up right next to each other. I
Yep.
watch your videos where you go in depth when you're putting stuff away, and I see like all the umbrellas next to each other. It looks great. So I've done mine like that now. So we'll see. I might have to come up with a new name soon.
Films by Color just kind of rolls off the tongue though. Like I think people will still know you by that even if you don't do that anymore. Or do you have any like backup names that you're just kind of thinking might be a little stronger, just to kind of focus in a little bit more on where you're at now?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I've been giving it some thought. I don't have anything yet, but hopefully
Sure.
something that kind of leans into because my channel lately has been mostly like hidden gem style stuff, like with Def Crocodile and some of the labels that I'm into. A lot of the stuff I'm talking about is like I get a lot of comments that are like, "Oh, thanks for putting that on my radar. I didn't even know that was out." So I
Mhm.
feel like I'm kind of finding my niche a little bit there.
Sure. No, yeah, I have a boutique room that I love collecting boutiques so much that I wanted to have a dedicated space to where like all of these things are behind me. And I really got addicted to having them all right next to each other, because I think that's how the labels kind of think in their mind on how everything can look all uniform in their collections. And the
Mhm.
same look is in my collection now too. I just the last video I put out on YouTube organizing stuff, I made a Turbine Media collection section, and these look amazing together, and they have different ways of packaging. Another reason why I want to talk to you about this, but yeah, just collecting. I've been collecting since like heavy collecting since like 2015, 2016-ish. And finally getting to the breaking point to where like room is an issue. Like, I have spread out as much as I possibly can. My I don't want to spread the entire disease that I have around every single orifice of my house. That wouldn't be fair to anybody else. So being selective is key. And I started doing the physical media pen pals thing just to kind of trade with people that watch the stuff that I do. And like one of the best feelings in the world, I traded a stack of like 10 movies to a guy in exchange for like 2 premium steelbooks. And that was just amazing because I had bulk that I didn't need anymore that I was able to give to somebody else who would give them a better home. And that's where my focus is on right now. The boutiques and like the premium stuff that looks very, very nice. Those are my areas of focus at the moment.
Same, man. I'm like pretty much 100% in the boutiques at this point. I don't get the rare studio release I'll get, like if it's like Ben-Hur or Sound of Music or some like big one that everybody's talking about, but usually it's all boutiques, and I'm loving it, and I love trading too. I actually just recently got to give someone like their Holy Grail, the big Kill Bill from Imprint.
Oh yeah.
He had actually tried to get that online from someone, and they scammed him. Like it was one of those like you send them the PayPal and they just never respond. So I was able to give that to him, and I got some really cool indicator and like Eureka stuff. So it was a good trade.
Yeah, this is a random topic I didn't expect to talk about, but have you? I'm on like Facebook forums and groups a lot of like physical media collectors, and a lot of trading goes on in there. And I would say at least once a week, I see somebody saying, "Do you know this person? I think I just got scammed by him." Like, I feel like it happens a lot. Like, there's a lot of scummy people out there that just kind of they know people will pay some premium dollars for some premium physical media releases, and they take advantage of that. And I absolutely hate that.
Yeah, they'll just take images from someone else's post and just post them like their own. And then once you send it, you can't really, I mean, that's why you have to make sure. I almost did a video about this because I did get scammed one time.
Oh, no.
I was like, I got scammed, and I was going to make a video of like tips to not let it happen to you. I never got around to doing it, but it should have been obvious. I should have been able to tell. Like looking back at our messages, I was like, oh yeah, this was kind of obvious. But I was so excited to get the thing that I was just giving them the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, they'll just, that's why you have to do goods and services. You can't do friends and family because it costs like a couple extra bucks, like $2 or something. And it's totally worth it because you can get your money back right away.
Yeah. If you don't know the person, definitely do goods and service and not friends and family. Because if you do friends and family, you won't be able to get your money back if the person does scam you. And it's the worst feeling in the world. I got scammed. I don't even remember what the heck I bought. It was a long time ago, probably 6-ish years ago, right before COVID, actually. That's when it happened. And ever since then, I've told myself, okay, if I'm going to buy something, I have to buy 2 things. Because if there's like a big group and I only pick a couple of those things, I have them take a picture of just those 2 grouped together. So at least I know they have the stuff. If they have the stuff, more likely than not, hopefully they're trying to get rid of the stuff. So they'll actually send it to you as opposed to them just finding pictures from any place on the internet and sending that to you. I try to get as specific as possible with like the pictures that they send me, just to be like, okay, I feel a little bit better about this.
Yeah. I think the trick nowadays is they'll make you post like a photo with like a date card on it, like in front of the image. So it's like, it's right now that he's sending you the photo, which is cool. I mean, like I just joined like a Reddit group too. That's really good. It's called Media Swap. I've never looked in there before, but someone told me about it. And it's really good. I should have pulled it down, but I didn't know we were going to talk about this, but I got a Holy Grail of mine just recently from there for super cheap.
Very nice. Getting Holy Grails just feels like the best. One of the premiums I got was a nice premium steelbook of Brightburn, and I didn't have the movie in my collection at all because I knew I wanted this one, but I've wanted it for 4 years and I just haven't got my hands on it until I finally did, and it felt amazing.
Yeah, I've stayed away from the premiums. I really enjoyed your episode with Frank on those because I don't have any. I have like I have some premiums, but I don't have any one clicks. But there's one that I'm strongly considering purchasing right now. It's still new. It's like have you heard of the Buy Yo-Yo site from China?
I haven't. Buy Yo-Yo.
It's a crazy site. But you can actually get them cheaper than like once they go to eBay, they're like $200,
Yeah,
$300. It's
skyrocket.
crazy.
Mhm.
It's pretty expensive still, but it's not anywhere near that much. So I'm considering it. We could talk about that offline. Maybe I'll see.
Okay, no, sounds good. I love hearing what piece like certain individuals want to collect for and would like display proudly in their collection, because every collector is so different. And I've talked with a lot of people, and like your just focus on certain genres of film is unlike anything else that I would pick out, like a lot of other people would pick out that I talk to. So I always love to pick your brain about just like what kind of stuff you're into. And I know whenever I have like a Criterion question, you are the guy to go to, because you know your stuff about that. Like I think they just had this will be released just after they've had their 24-hour sale, which is always, I never know when the flash sales go on, but I feel like there's plenty of people out there that know like, oh no, today's supposed to be the day.
Yeah, it ended, I think, today at noon. This is the first time in a long time I didn't actually get anything. But yeah, this whole shelf over here, this whole wall is all my Criterion collection over there. So haven't seen it all yet though. That's the other thing. It's not just space. It's like, I got to start prioritizing, just because I don't have enough time in the day to watch all this stuff. I don't like I think we use the same like catalog app. I don't like that number just creeping up like the stuff that I haven't seen yet. So I'm trying to slow down in that respect too.
I use the My Movies app, and the pie chart on there is getting very close to the 50-50 mark. Absolutely hate that. I think right now it's at like 55 seen, 45 not. I get so much stuff in the mail that I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to be able to like watch all this stuff, but I keep on trying. I probably watch at least 5 to 10 movies, depending on how busy I am a week. And I'm just not even like, it's not even making a dent in my watch pile, because it's getting a little crazy for sure.
Wow, that's an impressive number. I'm not getting anywhere near that much out, so that's pretty.
I'm trying. I probably go 3 or 4 days without watching something, and then I do double features and stuff, just trying to play catch up and stay up to date on this stuff as much as I possibly can, I guess.
Yeah, it's rough for the creators, because we got like, I don't know how many nights a week you record, but like 2 or 3, maybe 3 of my nights are gone. Yeah. So it's like I can't even watch anything those nights. I could watch so much more if I wasn't doing this.
I know, right? The pros and cons, man. The pros and cons. But you said that the Criterion stuff was like right next to you. Besides the wall that you have behind you, do you have any other orifices in your house where you collect physical media at, or is that about it?
No, I'm like you. I'm trying to contain it into my office. I don't necessarily want it to bleed everywhere. I did just move, like these 3 rows here are all my kids' movies. Like this is all my Disney collection right here. So I've sort of started migrating that down to a section, so they have their own little section, and we might eventually like move that to the playroom or the basement or something, just so like their stuff is in a different place, and then the boutiques can kind of take over my office. But I don't want any more than that. Like I really don't want it. I don't want like a whole basement of this stuff. Like I kind of like having one room where we can all come on Friday night and like pick something out together and go watch it. I don't know. I want to try to keep it contained. I also have there's 2 shelves in the cabinets below, so I've got some space down there. I think I'll start putting just like the standard studio releases down there and keep the boutiques up. But the boutiques are spilling over. Like these whole 2 columns are all boutiques at this point. Like it's crazy, because when I started this channel, I had just gotten into Criterion, which is my first boutique label. And now what's it been, like 5 years, and I'm already, boutiques have taken over my entire collection.
It happens, man. It happens. I didn't start collecting heavy on boutiques until I started doing social media stuff, and I just learned more about like, oh, this is a label and this is a label, and my interests really fall into this one, so I collect for that one hard, and then I pop to another one, and now I have so many that I'm like, I don't know. The reason why I love boutique labels so much is because they put more love and care into the special features and the packaging and just the whole feel of the purchasing experience. Like you feel like you're actually putting something worthy on the shelf, when there are some just studio releases that feel very bare bones and just have the movie on the disc. I just watched Blue Moon from Sony Picture Classics, and I loved that movie. Number one, I love both Ethan Hawke and Richard Linklater, so just them pairing up again was great. But I went to dig into the special features on that disc, and there was nothing there. I'm like, why do I even have this movie? Like, I feel like there needs to be more for me to research and learn and stuff. And when there's not, I feel super bummed.
Dude, I'm the exact same way. I'm getting to the point because it feels so disposable. Like
Hmm.
that we're so spoiled with the boutique labels. I'm getting to the point where I want to like live with this movie for like a week. Like I want to watch it. I want to watch all the supplements. I want to read through the booklet. I want to like it just makes it more of a complete experience and it sticks in your mind better. If you're just like blowing through single discs five in a week, then they just fall out of my head. Like there's only so much room in there. But really like digging into these boutique releases has made some of these movies like become some of my favorite movies, like makes them very special. I really like the whole experience. And I'll definitely get into that as we go through like what my favorite parts of the whole experience are and what parts I kind of wish the boutiques would just kind of leave art cards. But we'll get into that.
Yeah, let's get into it now, actually, DJ, because
Sure.
I probably have around 30 different types of packaging here that are different from one another and that are kind of worthy of showcasing a little bit and just talking about what I like about it, what I don't like about it. So we kind of talked about doing this label by label. I'll have you go first. I'll have the guest go first if you want to pick one out. And either I have one from my stack or you can just kind of talk about it and I'll jump off of you.
Sure. I mean, why don't we just? I mean, do you mind getting into the big one right off the bat? Arrow video. I know everyone loves Arrow. We can probably
Sure.
start with that one.
Ooh, before we
That's
do, I have
what's
some
closest
title
to me.
cards. I have some title cards
Oh,
pulled in here from the boutique labels. I do have
nice.
Arrow Video. So before each one, I will just kind of throw those in here just so it kind of gets us in the mood to talk about the label. So
Sounds
here
good.
is Arrow Video. The old school Arrow Video. Like that's my
Yeah,
favorite
I
intro
don't
that
know
they've
that one.
done. You don't know that one?
No, that's old.
Oh
I mean,
my.
I'm late to the party with Arrow. What was my
Okay,
first
so
Arrow? I
that's the
can't
one
remember.
that I know of. Like when I think of Arrow, that's the one that comes to my mind. Then for a year, I have the other one too, like the not even the newest one, but they switched that one up where they had it for like a decade, and then they went to this one, and I will just show you. It's very night and day. So here is one that they don't even have right now, but one they ran for like a year. And I don't
And
know
you,
if it's because I just like shouted my hate for that one from the mountaintops that they changed it. I really don't know, but that screams like Dark Knight vibes to me, like with the music that they had. I did not like that whatsoever. The one they have now is quiet, but I kind of like the rainbow effect. I don't have that one pulled up on here yet, but I do like their most recent logo card.
yeah, it does sound very Dark Knight. I
I know,
remember
right?
my first Arrow video release was actually the Yokai Monsters box set, and
Hmm.
I didn't even know what Arrow was. Like I was familiar with Criterion, and they also had some Arrow at my Barnes and Noble when I was going to get Criterion. And I was like, "What is this crazy looking Japanese like folklore monster box set?" Like it was
Hmm.
bonkers artwork on the front, and it sold the artwork sold me. Like it was great. But now I've got tons of Arrow, and I've also
Yeah.
gone back and got some of their Arrow Academy releases, which they've stopped doing now. That
Yep.
was like a UK like separate part of the label that they used to have. And like you said, I'm a little different when it comes to collect. I know everyone loves Arrow. I actually am bummed that they. Well, let's start with let's start with the pros, I guess, and
Sure.
then I'll go into some cons because I do have some cons for Arrow. What's your favorite Arrow box set? Did you pull your favorite down, or you just pull an example?
Well, I have three examples, like one of their like uniform chunky box sets, one
Yes.
of their uniform just like standard slipcover releases, and then one that kind of stands out that
Okay.
they actually put a little bit more time into and made feel special a little bit. So I'll hold the special one until last, but
Okay.
just the box set, like they
Yeah, the
do box
standard.
sets pretty dang well. So you got Miss
Yes.
45, I got Inglorious Bastards. I'm very anytime a chonky box gets released from Arrow Video, I'm never mad at it really. Like they kind of have a good uniform and I'm happy with whatever they throw in here for the most part.
Exactly. I mean, this is the standard right here. This was one. This is my favorite Arrow release from last year. I had such an amazing time with this movie. I'm a little. Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this because I don't
Mhm.
know how I'm a little. I'm a little against the slip covers.
Okay,
I know
so
that's
the
blasphemy.
slipcovers were just introduced like a year and a half ago by them.
Yeah, I'm still
When they
getting
use the
used to
same
it.
artwork, I hate it, DJ, because what's the point? You
What's the
know,
point?
like, yeah, why put the same artwork on the slip as you do on the box? That's why I pulled this one in particular, because it has different artwork on there. So
Oh, that's cool.
this I like. The TMNT trilogy one also did the same thing. If
Hmm.
you're gonna go
The mask.
into enough of an effort to put a slipcover on there, just change the artwork up. Just do something completely different. Like this looks like a replica from Inglorious Bastards, just one of the folders that they have. So I'm
Yeah.
not mad at this, but I am mad at that Miss 45 one, and they do it more often than not.
Yeah, it's a little so in my mind there's like levels of niceness. I don't know, levels of quality to your packaging. And like obviously the standard is the lowest. And then you put a slipcover on it, it's a little nicer.
Yeah.
Then the hard box is nicer than a slipcover. So when you put a slipcover on a hard box, it kind of brings it down a little bit. Like it kind of makes it this kind of gloss. This and it's not like a Vincent slipcover or anything. It's just like a little flimsy
Right.
Kino Lorber slipcover. So it
Yep.
looks a little cheaper to me than the nice hard boxes that they do. So that's my little beef with those. I know some people
Sure.
say it protects it. I don't buy that. Like it's the flimsiest little slipcover. If it falls hard enough to damage the box, it's going to damage this too. I don't know if it's going to protect it. But I will say, love
Yeah.
the hard boxes.
Mhm.
It's the standard. It's the gold standard. So much so that when they do a limited release that isn't the hard box, sometimes I'm like, I wish they would have. Like Hugo, I wish they would have done the hard box. Like, come on, Scorsese movie. Let's give it the hard box treatment. But very happy with the hard box. Love this booklet. Very, very satisfied with these thicker booklets. I'm a booklet guy. I love reading through these, especially when it's not just essays. Like I don't know if you flip through this one. This is all about the main actress from this movie, who was like a fascinating person, and it has a bunch of like stuff that she wrote personally because she I don't know what I can say on YouTube, but she unalived herself very young. And before that, she was like considered a genius, and she wrote like this whole novel, and it includes the essay or article that she included with the novel to send out to the editors, and it gives like her whole backstory and everything. This was such an interesting read. Like there was so many different kinds of writing in there, which I appreciate instead of just essays. So Era does a good job at that. There's some other boutique labels that I think do an even better job with their booklets, but Arrow does great stuff. The posters and the art cards, I'm not a fan of those. How do you feel about those?
So they've done it for so long. Like this is the first label that I remember putting posters and art cards in their releases. To go back a little bit, for the longest time they didn't have the slipcovers on there. And one pro to the slipcover is that without it, it's easy for your stuff to slide out.
That's
so
true.
with the slipcover, it kind of keeps it all nice and inside and not going everywhere. Because I have had instances to where like I'm moving stuff in the collection, and the box sets from Arrow that do not have the slipcover, it's more of a pain in the butt because these slip out very easily. Like I'm barely tipping that at 45 degrees and it still comes out. To talk about the booklet, I do like their booklets, especially when, again, they just kind of go with theme and just make it look very nice and give us artwork that's not anywhere else on the packaging. Artwork to me is one of the more important aspects of physical media collecting. I can count on one hand the amount of booklets I've actually read from my physical media releases. Like I don't really touch them at all. I'm more of just like a visual learner. If I want to learn more about the project, I'll dig into the special features. Like that's where I like to get a lot of my information on movies. The posters, I've never hung a single one up. I do have one of the guys I follow on Instagram, bearded film guy. He told me what poster on Amazon to go to, or poster frame that fits these perfectly.
Oh, that's cool.
So I do have like this blank wall right here that I thought about putting like 2 or 3 of these up. But then it comes to the fact that the artwork on here is just what's on the physical media release. Like, do I really want to hang this up if I still have that in my collection? That's where I get weirded out. Thankfully, it is a double-sided poster, and you can put up the theatrical poster artwork if you want to. But I don't know if that just gives these boutique labels a justification to charge a premium price, or to justify having a box set for them to fit stuff into the box set. I'm not quite sure why more have jumped on to the poster aspect, but I would say I have not utilized them a lot. And the art cards, my God, like the art cards to some of these get insanely repetitive. And I don't remember the last time I was really floored by art cards. These are fine. These are at least character ones, different artwork, double-sided with different stills from the film. They're fine. What again, another reason why I pulled this is because they have different stuff in here besides the art cards. Like they have an apple streusel recipe card. They have
That's cool.
a replica like playbill from the movie that they're screening when Hitler gets shot. They have a coaster, which I actually have up there, with from the bar that had like the 3 going this way and the 3 going this way. So I like it when boutique labels put a little more thought and care into the stuff that they put inside of here. Art cards just kind of seem a little, I don't know. I've been here plenty of times. There's nothing really special about them anymore.
Yeah, they just seem like padding, like you said. I wish they would just do away with them and make the booklet a little thicker, or like, I don't know. Unless, like you said, there's a replica, or maybe sometimes they'll do like a replica of the original like premiere invitation or like something like that, something historical. I don't need a picture from the movie. I can watch the movie. I also don't need like more artwork in a little tiny frame. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And the posters are so small and they're folded up, so they're gonna have creases. I don't know what the point of it is, but I do really like the booklets, and the supplements. Arrow does such a great job of supplements. I think they do a really good job of balancing between historian and creator input. Like, so you hear from the actual creators, but they also have like film historians do commentaries and all that. I think those are great. They do a really good job. I actually do have more time for the booklets than the special features, because when the special features, I have to go like downstairs or to a special room and sit down and watch it. But the booklet, like I can read when I'm at my son's soccer practice. I can read when I'm on a coffee break out on my back porch. Like I have all these little bits of time where I can just pop open the booklets. So that's why I really like the booklets, because I don't have to be sitting down in front of my screen.
I would feel so much panic if I took them outside of the house because I would be like, am I going to lose this? Can I not what if I don't remember to put the book back with the actual like physical media release? Like that would give me a lot of anxiety. I don't know if I could ever do that. Like putting it upstairs and like reading it while I'm drinking my morning cup of coffee. Like that's one thing, but like, I don't think there's any way I could ever like bring it outside the house. More power to you.
I take them on vacation, man. I pop a couple in I have this little like leather binder thing that I just can open up and read them in. And it's fun. One more thing I guess we should talk about is, and this, we're kind of like setting the stage with this first one, and then we can go through a little faster, I guess. But the discs, how do you feel? Like, what discs do you personally like? Like, are you a 4K only fine guy? Do you still need a Blu-ray? Some people still like a Blu-ray. Do you want a CD? I know recently they just did a CD with this one, which was awesome. With the Wild style.
It's cool that it's there for the people that'll listen to it. I know I'm one person that'll never put the CD in. Like I collect a lot of different types of physical media. I do movies, I do VHS tapes, I do vinyl. CD is not one that I have decided to collect for heavily again. I know the resurgence for that is coming back. I don't know, if I want to listen to music, I will either pop my headphones in and listen to something on Spotify on my phone, or I will go and pop a vinyl on and just kind of like be in that Zen mode. CD hasn't really hit for me yet. Do you listen to CDs?
I don't like listen to the CDs. I don't even have anything to play CDs, but I love listening to film scores, like on my computer while I work, or on my phone. Like I listen to film scores a lot.
That's what I collect on vinyl. Like that's my main thing that I love, is just like listening to scores while I'm just upstairs, either just hanging out with the family or doing cleaning, just like something to get me in the zone and think about something else, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. And I love getting the film score and then just ripping it to my computer so I can put it on my phone, because a lot of older movies, I collect a lot of older movies, and a lot of that's not on Spotify or Apple Music. So when those scores are included, like that's a huge deal, because I can put that on my phone. It rarely ever happens. I only can think of like a handful of examples. Like Wild Style had a soundtrack CD. Severin does it more so than the other labels. So I appreciate when they do it. but it's very rare, and I wish they would do it. I wish the labels would do it more.
Sure. Synapse has done it a couple of times too. Like, but those are the three that come to mind that like really have done it more than at least once, I guess. They do it a handful of times. And when it's there, I'm like, oh, hey, cool. But again, in the back of my mind, I'm like, is this justification for making this more expensive? Like, I know that you kind of have to, as a collector, you can't just think about yourself collecting. You have to think about the general audience and how wide of reach that release will have. But I can't help but be like, I don't need this. I'm never going to touch this. Is this worth, having? I guess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, this whole conversation is just about personal taste. So
right.
We're going to get into the nitty gritty. But yeah, it is interesting how they charge the same price for this, which only has a 4K disc. Yeah. And then Wild Style has 4K, Blu-ray, and CD. Like it's this was a loaded release. I wish I liked the movie. It was fun. I enjoyed it, but I wish I loved Miss 45, and then it's just the single 4K disc.
I've been getting into Abel Ferrara films, and I have Miss 45, and I haven't got to that one yet. Oh, so I know I need to. I desperately need to.
I really special effects just came out from Transmission for Radiance, and it's the same lead actress who's in that. So
very nice.
I'm really interested in that one too because she's fantastic in this.
Okay. Well, to answer your previous question, I tend to go to 4K first. Because I have the 4K player, I've got the OLED. To me, like that's one of the main reasons why I'm collecting physical media right now, is to play it in the best resolution possible and just have those colors absolutely pop off of the screen and just look amazing. Like I just watched Nightcrawler, the 4K that came out from Shout. That transfer looks spectacular just because it kind of has that Los Angeles skyline scene, kind of like what Drive did with Second Sight Films. Like that 4K is one of my favorite 4Ks. Nightcrawler kind of picks up where that one left off and continues to kind of carry that ball. There's just something about the effect of very good looking movies that really make me just be like, yeah, that's why I have that in the collection. It looks nice. Blu-rays are great and I can play them all over the house. I only have a couple of 4K players, but yeah, there's something about a 4K that just makes me coming back for more.
Yeah, I'm only a 4K, honestly. Like, unless the Blu-ray has the special features. I love when they put the special features actually on the 4K because I only have 2 setups in my house for discs, and they're both 4K players. So there's no reason for me to even collect the Blu-rays at this point. But I understand it. Some people like to have that still.
Yeah. Can we get into that a little bit, DJ? Can we talk about why some companies put the special features on the 4K discs and why some don't? Because that drives me crazy.
We'll get into. I'm gonna be singing the praises of some of them, some of the labels later for doing that. Because like, I don't know if it's. I don't know the tech. Like if there's like if it takes up too much space or something, and they or if they're thinking as well, if it's not in 4K, then there's no reason to put it on the 4K disc. Just put on. But it's just convenient. Like I could just pop the second sight disc in and then immediately watch the supplements right afterwards. It's great.
It's the best. And I know that they always use 100 gigabyte discs for their 4K. So I'm thinking it might be a cost saving issue. I know that there's kind of a scarcity out there for 100 gigabyte discs right now. So maybe it's a necessity to where, hey, we'll get a 66 gigabyte disc and we'll only put the movie on there. But we did make new special features. You'll just have to pop another disc in. But there is something about just having that experience, like a one solid flowing experience of going from the movie to the special features and not having to like do any extra legwork, even though if that legwork is just like taking a disc out and putting another one in.
Well, it's kind of more of a pain than that because sometimes you have to like look at the back of the box and like see what is on the Blu-ray and what's on, because some of the like the commentaries will be on the 4K and maybe a couple other features, but then everything else is on the Blu-ray. So you got to really like pay attention to all that. And it's just a hassle. It's not a big deal, but yeah, I agree. I wish they would just make the discs match so you can have all that stuff on the 4K. Sorry.
Do you have more Arrow videos to show off? Or
well, you can show off some of yours and then I'll get into the cons, I guess. I have a couple, just 1 or 2 cons, but yeah,
because I still have more pros to show off. So I will do that. So the box sets are great, but I'm always happy when Arrow Video releases just a standard release because I think this label has made some of my favorite standard releases just because they look so good on a shelf right next to each other. They're just thick enough to stand out, but not too thick like a box set to take up even more room. And you always have, more often than not, you have different artwork on here and you have the option to switch the artwork to the theatrical poster on here for A Fish Called Wanda. Like I love this movie. And it's any single movie that I could pull off the shelf right here and showcase this off. There's a cleanness to Arrow Video that I really like, and a uniformity that really, I don't know, it just gets me going. I guess one gripe would be that the artwork on the disc sometimes doesn't change. But other than that, because I like to, if you're going to put a release out, I wish that there would be a lot of attention brought to every single area of that. But I know that that's asking a lot too. So I'm happy with their releases. You can always gripe a little bit, but for the most part, I don't have a lot of griping about Arrow Video when it comes to their standard stuff.
Yeah, those slipcovers are nice enough.
Yeah, sorry. One more pro. They have a lot of different looking box sets. Like they have the Enter the Video Store box set that looks a little bit different but still stands out. They have the Coffin Joe box set. I don't know if you've seen that one, but it's just a man's head, and then like the hat is on the top and it kind of pulls off like that. That's kind of cool. The box set that really stands out to me though is the one they did for Hellraiser Quartet of Torment. Like this sucker absolutely shines. I did an episode on the podcast where I broke down like my thoughts on all of these movies, and I talked about just this box set because this has a see-through cover, which is very cool and kind of just reveals more brutality and gruesomeness that the Hellraiser franchise is kind of known for. There's just a lot of love and care into this release that I really love, and rare for Arrow Video, but they did it for this box set. A hardcover book. Like there's something about knocking on these suckers and just like feeling the quality. And this is a thick boy too. There's a couple other boutique labels that really go all out on their books, but Arrow Video hardly ever does. So when they do, especially with this one, they just made it shine like crazy. I'm a big fan of this box set.
That is wild. I've never seen the inside of that. Why? Like that's such a random release to just go all in on. Like everything else is pretty standard, and then all of a sudden, that's crazy. Someone must have been a huge Hellraiser fan at the Arrow Video headquarters on that one, because that's crazy.
That'd be my guess too, man. But those are my pros. Let's start getting into the cons. What do you got for me for Arrow Video?
Yeah, I mean, across the board, they're pretty great. So this is very minimal. I've already mentioned, like, I feel like they could do away with the art cards and the posters, and maybe, like you said, do some hardcover books or include some other stuff. We'll get into some other labels soon that include other things that I think are great that Arrow Video never does. So I'll talk about that. But my biggest con for Arrow, and it's not their fault. It's just, well, they kind of closed it down shop. I wish they would have never closed the Arrow Academy. I think for my money, like that was more my taste in movies, and nowadays they still do them every once in a while, but like back in the day, we got this Arrow, The Apartment, and this does have a hardcover book. Like you said, they don't that. They don't do that anymore. Like this has a full hardcover, like thick book in here. Nice. It's just one movie. And they also have the Blu-ray in there, and they got this full box here. They used to do like some really cool director box sets. Like I pulled down the Decalogue, which is also in Criterion, but this blows that set out of the water from Criterion. It not only includes all 10 episodes of the Decalogue in this giant book, it also includes like all of his other television works. Like this whole back is just full of other work from the same director. They had this Eric Romer, which is one of my favorite directors. Like they put out like 10 of his films. This is 10 of his films on one box set. Nice. Like I don't see them doing the director box sets anymore and putting out, like they just brought The Apartment back, but it's just the little slipcover. Like they didn't bring back this.
That's all I have.
Version.
I didn't even know that existed, DJ, to be honest with you.
Well, this is back when it was, because Arrow's a UK company, and this is back when these were only released in the UK. So I've had to hunt these down on eBay, like secondhand, for a lot of money. But there was so many. Like I look on eBay and I see all these old, really cool, like unique Arrow Academy box sets. And I mean, I can't blame them. They have to go where the money is, and the money is like the cult stuff that they're doing now, and that's totally fine. There's not as many of those that appeal to me as some of the Criterion kind of crossover that they used to have, which I thought it was great. They were hitting both markets, but they kind of found their niche, which is totally cool. But we're talking about personal stuff, so that's a very personal. gripe. But
And Aero Academy, like that apartment is the only one that I have from that label. Like that's just not my forte, or if I am going to buy something, that's not the kind of blind buy that I would necessarily purchase. But I
Mhm.
love how they had those two different tastes, you know, the two different flavors of Aero was kind of nice for the people that liked it, because Aero Academy always felt like a Criterion type of establishment, I guess. But I don't
Mhm.
know if like sales were not great for that label, but I have definitely seen a decrease for sure in their output.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, I feel like some other labels have filled in, which I'll talk about in a minute. So it's not too big of a deal, but Arrow was doing really good stuff, and it was before I started collecting. All that stuff was out of print before I even started, so
Yeah,
I had to pay $200 for some of these box sets. So it hurts. I wish they would just
right.
re-release some of them.
Well, I
But
guess
I love Arrow.
before we get off of Arrow, I guess if we're talking about packaging, we got to talk about their new release that just got announced a few days ago as we're recording this, the Stranger Things box set.
Who? No one saw that coming. That was insane, and it's huge.
That
It's
that news released when I was driving to our vacation area, our destination. And I'm like, I can't talk about this with people. Like, this is driving me bonkers because so many people are like, oh my God. And I was in the excitement, but I couldn't share my excitement with anybody because my family doesn't care at all. So I don't know. That came out of left field, and the box set that they made for it looks spectacular and something like they have never really released before, which I'm very excited to get my hands on.
I mean, yeah, I mean, this is a TV box set. It's like 10, it's a 10 episode series that Koslowski did, but like that is insane. That's a mini series. That's like, what is it, 5 seasons?
Yeah, a
And it's
complete series. Yeah.
massive.
I don't think they've ever done a complete series box set before, but it makes sense. If you can get your hands on Stranger Things, you release it and make as many copies as possible because that sucker's going to sell well.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one. I mean, I don't know what else you would even Game of Thrones maybe or Breaking Bad. Like there's a couple huge ones that you could do, but that was
Right.
the one to do because that's generational. Like even the younger kids are still into that show. So that was a good move on Arrow's part.
Yeah. And I know that the last season was kind of mixed on its reception, but I still feel like as a whole that just it hit a zeitgeist that not a lot of shows really do. So I think people that hopefully it gets people into collecting physical media. I don't know if that's going to be the case too much, but like maybe the diehard Stranger Things fans might pick it up just to, I don't know, have something special to have in their house somewhere, in their apartment somewhere, just to be like, yeah, I like this show. And this box set has every single episode of that show. And hopefully they buy a player to play it or something. I don't know. I think out of a lot of different new releases that we've gotten news wise for upcoming physical media stuff, like that's the one that I feel like has the best chance to branch out from just your average person that collects physical media.
Yeah, and it feels like a match made in heaven, right? Like that is the most Arrow video show. Like it's
Mhm.
referencing a lot of the cult stuff that Arrow puts out, like the same kinds of 80s nostalgia stuff. So
Yep.
it seems like a perfect fit. I was shocked. My friend just like casually dropped it in the middle of a text. And then I was like, wait, what? I thought he was joking. Like I was looking at the date. It's not that far from April Fool's Day. I thought maybe it was like a joke, but no, it was already up on their website. It's crazy.
Right. No, very, very, very cool stuff. And they have two different box sets to choose from too. Either like the basic one if you just want the discs, or the big collector's one if you want like a display piece. So I love that they gave the choice. They also did it just on 4K or on Blu-ray. So that's what I like about Arrow Video too. Like they when they do give you the choice, they go all out with that choice. Like if you buy it right off the bat, like that enter the video store one, you'll get a bigger box, but it'll never go completely out of print because that box set just kind of shrunk down and made like a standard edition of it. So that's one thing I do like about boutique labels. Especially Arrow Video, they kind of go all out with the first release that they do for a certain film. But if it sells well enough and sells out quick enough, they will come back with still the same discs and whatnot, just a little bit different packaging for you.
Yeah, they serve both markets. Like you get the FOMO crowd who wants the limiteds, and then it's still in print. So if you're a limited guy, you can get the limited, hopefully. And then if you're not, if you don't care, then they give you the standards. A lot of the labels are doing that these days. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, me too. Speaking of cool, I guess we should go on to the next boutique label. Another one that's going to have a lot of different conversation around it because I'm going to choose Vinegar Syndrome, man.
Oh,
Hopefully you
that's
have some Vincent releases.
I have some. I just have
Okay.
one to show off, but I'm sure you'll have some that are exactly like the ones I have the Keep, which is their standard like slide
Yeah.
out box set. I'm sure you'll show one of those. But
Yeah, I've got a little bit of what they have to offer, but first I have the title card to offer, and
oh
this
yeah,
sucker slaps hard. So let's get in the mood here. Like every time that plays, I just have a look on my face like, yeah, that you know the vibe you're gonna get into when you play a Vinegar Syndrome movie.
well, it's funny when that plays before like the movies that vibe doesn't fit at all. Like because they've been
Mhm.
putting out in their VSU line like some kids films, and you'll start with that and then go watch like Sidekicks, which is
Mhm.
so weird. Um, but I love their VSUs. Like this is
Yeah.
such a cool style of packaging. This is the main thing I collect from VSU and a lot of partner labels or from Vinegar Syndrome.
Mhm.
Um, have you got some of these with the magnet?
I tried to grab like one of each of their different packaging. I grabbed a Roadhouse.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll love that. I mean, the fact there's so much different, like you got so much. I'm breaking stuff. You got this artwork, you got
Right.
this artwork, you got that artwork, and
Yeah.
then you got different artwork on the slipcover, you got alternate artwork underneath. Like it's crazy the amount of detail they went for this silly, goofy movie from my childhood. And then this looks like one of the old martial arts magazines that my dad had piled up in the basement. This is awesome. Do I
That's
need all
the type of
this for
Well,
this silly
that's the
movie?
type of booklet
Maybe
that I
not.
like, though, DJ, is
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
the stuff that is themed around the movie and not just like a random picture. Like, yeah, you put some time and effort into that sucker. I love that type of stuff.
It's even got a coupon down there for
Hmm.
throwing knives. No, this was crazy. Like when this came out, this was like my I don't know if we talked about this last time, but my parents are martial arts instructors.
Hmm.
So and they had a studio my whole life. So I started really young and any like martial arts movie, like we watched the Three Ninjas movies like a million times. We watched the Ninja Turtles movies. We watched Sidekicks, like any of these movies where it's like kids beating up adults was like crack to us as kids.
Right.
It was all we watched. So this movie I watched way too many times as a kid. So it was
And
crazy.
I have that in
when
my
they put
I have
that
it in
out.
my collection. I haven't seen it yet, DJ. So it's one of those
I
things that I
don't
need to get around to.
I don't think you'll like it going to it as an adult.
Well,
I tried to
even
rewatch it and I was
Chuck
like,
Norris just passed away from like
that's
when
true.
we're recording this around the time. So if I'm ever gonna watch it, like this week is like the time to do it, you know?
Now is the time. That's right.
Yeah.
I should give it a rewatch, actually. Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah. One thing that I love about these releases, the magnetic seal. Like there's just something about clamping that down that just it does something to my brain, like the OCD in my brain. Like, yeah, that it's scratching an itch that I really like.
Oh yeah, and the little ribbon to get the stuff out.
I was just gonna say, yeah, the
So
pull tab
classy.
is very, very nice because you don't have to like tip the entire thing over to get it out. All you need to do is do this, and everything just kind of lifts up magically. And yeah, they do that on a couple of their releases, and I'm never mad at it whenever I see it. I'm always just like, yeah, thanks for putting that in there, Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah, just a little extra care.
Well, let's see here. We kind of got to talk about just their standard slipcovers because they are kind of doing the best in the game. They do some very thick slips. I got one of their partner labels, ETR Media, the Fright Night documentary that they kind of put out. Artwork always is great on there. I don't know if you can see that a little bit better. It's just so thick compared to even like the Arrow Video one that we just showed. There's just you're holding a premium product when you hold some of their slip covers out, and then the artwork is different than what it is on the slip. Like they just kind of do it right over there at Vinegar Syndrome. And one thing we really haven't talked about yet are the cases, like just the standard cases that their releases get put in. I like how clear is kind of the move for a lot of these companies. I feel like that is kind of a stamp of quality, like the blue on just a standard Blu-ray. I've never really been a fan of. There seems to be just if you release a 4K release, they're all black. I only have two now that aren't black, and whenever I get one that's
Oh,
a different color, Mean Girls had a pink one, had a pink case,
yes, I remember that. Yeah.
and then Vestron Video with the Substitute just came out with like a gray case for 4K.
Oh,
And it looks
okay.
spectacular because it's kind of like a see-through gray. Like it's a different color than I've seen before on a case. And when anything kind of branches outside of the norm, I'm always a fan of that. And even though these clear cases are done more often than not, I still would prefer this over just your standard blue.
Yeah, it feels like a boutique release when they do that.
Yeah. Let's see here. With Vinegar Syndrome, they also have. I'd like these box sets. Like they have a lot of different box sets. Here's one for Enter the Void. I love just like the prismatic effect that's on this sucker, but I really like the pull tab that they kind of have ingrained in a lot of their different box sets, because you don't have to go like this to grab it. You can just go on the edge and grab it. And I don't know, it's the little indentations like that kind of go a long way for me to be like, okay, you again putting more effort into things when you don't necessarily need to. This is prismatic like crazy, and this movie is kind of going along with that crazy effect that this case has. So I really like this edition that I have in the collection from them.
Yeah, it reminds me of those old, like when you would buy VHS tapes, like to record stuff on, and they would have that little slide out from the side.
Kind of like that.
It feels perfect for Vincent because they're going
bringing that vibe back. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm surprised you don't have any of these in your collection. The cinematograph ones.
Oh, I do. I just didn't grab them. I have some.
These seem right up your alley. But
I love those. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, if you brought this to the beach or something, you'd have to bring the whole thing, because unfortunately the booklet is inside of the case here. But it kind of, I don't know. The more I collect of these, the more I like them. This is the first one that I ever got. And once I had it in my hands, I'm like, I don't know if this sub-label is really for me. But the more that I have, the more I'm just like, okay, I do like the vibe that they have. I like how there's a size difference. A lot of their different releases, you can kind of tell, like these are a little bit higher than your average Blu-ray case, which is kind of nice. I love how there is a book inside of this, and they make like the hardcover book aesthetic. I'm trying to that's showing up a little bit more. Like it actually feels like a hardbound book when you take the cover off of it, which is kind of nice. And then of course you have just dozens of pages to read and look at and whatnot. And the discs are on the inside here. And you also have this ribbon, and it's always fun to load these suckers up and watch that ribbon just kind of like get eaten up by it. I don't know. I really like that. And then you just kind of pull it out once you're done.
Yeah, I have about 4 or 5 of those. I was really excited about when they started it, but then they started releasing movies that I couldn't get excited about, so I kind of fizzled out on those. But the first 2 were great. They had Little Darlings and Red Rock West, and I read through the whole books on those, and there was really great essays in there, and they included like a comic book in the Little Darlings one. Those are great. I kind of wish they would do more colors. They're like stuck on black, red, and yellow, it seems like, and blue sometimes. But they started with pink with Little Darlings, and I was like, oh wow, this is great. They could do anything. But then they kind of settled in, and they look good next to each other. Like you said, all next to each, all lined up in a row. They look good. I like those too.
Yeah.
I want that Boxcar Berthel one that you just got. I'm jealous of that. I need to.
Yeah, I need to actually sit down and watch it, though. That's the thing. I've heard nothing but terrible things about it, but I need to watch it because it's a Scorsese I've never seen. So,
well, watch it. If you give it less than a 3, then maybe I'll trade you something.
There you go. Yeah, I want to say, was it a Dino De Laurentiis production? I think it was. Like Canon Films, like before he did Canon. Yeah, this was like one of those labels, so there's not a lot of like high quality to it, but Scorsese kind of did his best with the budget he had. I've heard a lot about the movie, and I watched Apple had a documentary on Scorsese. I love Martin Scorsese, so that's the most I've ever heard from that movie was in that documentary. So I'm interested, but he doesn't even like the movie, so I'm just I'm curious to kind of watch it for myself finally.
Yeah.
A couple more, just 2 more box sets, because these are different. Whenever they do something out of the norm, I always like to like showcase that off. They've done a couple of these box sets that open up triangle style, which is always just weird, and I kind of like it. You can see that there's like a very minute indentation in like the triangle, and then it just slips out, and it's your average release with the slipcover and whatnot. Just something a little bit different. And the last one that I have, I forgot to pull, but it's in arm's reach, so that's always nice. I have The Tenant, Roman Polanski, and it kind of opens up just like a door, again, with magnets and stuff. So there's always like a great feeling when you close it. It's just, I don't know, sounds very, very nice. And it's got a ribbon, so the stuff can kind of launch out like so. But I don't know, they just give random movies a little bit more a little bit more thought into the packaging that they have for them. And whenever they do that, I'm always just a fan of what kind of crazy concoctions they've come up with.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you had the Tenet. That's a great one. Do you mind if I grab something real quick? Because you'll love this because it's more magnets. It's
no, go for it. Yes, the more magnets, the better. I'm a big. They don't happen enough on physical media releases, so whenever magnets pop up and I can just play with them for like 30 seconds, I am the happiest man alive.
Well, check this out. So these are a collection of very experimental films from Doris Wishman. And this is from AGFA, but it's distributed by Vincent.
Yeah.
And they have the Moonlight Years and the Twilight Years. And there's a green one too that I don't have yet. But there's 3 of these sets. Mm-hmm. They all have like a ton of her movies on there. And you might see those little circles. You see those circles?
I do.
So they stick together, which is so weird.
Amazing.
I don't know why in the world they do that, but
I had no idea. Like, I've seen those releases before. I had no idea they had magnets that did that. That's crazy.
They're really strong magnets too. Like, it'll pick it up. No idea why that seems so random, but there's more magnets for you.
Yeah. Something random for something weird. Like, that makes all the sense in the world for them.
And it's the same kind of cases too. It's like they didn't change the packaging. They just stuck magnets in there. So
whatever.
I guess
works.
they could do that again.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that. Like, I feel like that took minimal effort and it just maximum results for me personally. So that's cool.
Yeah, those are weird.
Okay, that's all the Vincent stuff I have. So what label do you want to talk about next?
I can talk about this one quickly. I don't know if you have any of these, but this is the most unique thing that I have here. So I want to give them some praise for this. Kerzon. Do you have any Kerzon releases?
I have my first one coming in a big box set like that too. It's the oh my god, who the heck is it? Lars von Trier has a box set coming up.
It's right here.
Okay, so I have that coming, but I don't have it yet.
So this is the one I grabbed. They've been again. I love director box sets. So this is kind of filling the hole that Aero Academy left a little bit. But they do like complete box sets. Like there's a Ruben Östlund one back there. There's a Bellatar one that's awesome, and the packaging is just crazy. This is all of Lars von Trier's films, except for one because there was a rights issue. But I think the one you're getting will have that film because they've since fixed it. It was,
nice. Okay.
Dancer in the Dark, which I had to buy separate, but because it wasn't in here at the time. But first of all, just like such a classy looking, like these are the one movie box sets I feel like I could put in my like living room. Like it looks like a book. It's that same cloth bound book texture that you were just talking about with Cinematograph, but they're these like really classy looking releases. Got the nice silver, like it's not embossed, but it's nice and shiny silver text all around. And then this is a hard box. You get this outer hard box, and then inside you get another hard box. This is the only double hard box that I've ever seen. But so look at this artwork. Like this is just
I cannot wait to get that. I bought it from the movie room. I think they're getting it in the next couple of weeks, and I cannot wait to finally get that in my hands because just the artwork on that sucker looks so damn amazing.
Yeah, I mean that helps sell me on this. And then so you get 2 hard boxes, and then inside it's kind of like Second Sight, where you get like a digipack. This is so many films that you actually get 2 digipacks in this. You get a red and a green.
Yeah, it's a beefy boy.
It's so much stuff. So then you get a booklet, nice thick booklet, which I love.
Yeah.
I need some. It says musings on Lars von Trier. I need some musings while I'm drinking my coffee. And then, of course, there's more in there. Art cards are full. Oh, those are posters, actually. 2 posters in there. And then it just, I mean, you know what a digipack looks like. It folds out. It's got like, the digipack basically serves as the art cards because there's like all the characters on all the discs. This is so many discs. I won't waste your time trying to open that all up. But 2 of these digipacks. The other one has like more posters that'll fall out if I open it up, and like there's just art cards and everything. So much stuff packed into this, and they've done this several times. They have a Wim Wenders one. They have the Ruben Östlund one. There's a Michael Haneke one, which I know you're not going to get because you have the umbrella.
Right.
That's cool that they did one for him too.
Yeah.
These are just like definitive releases, which is, you asked me at the beginning what I'm like getting into these days. It's that. It's like I want to build like a definitive library, like stuff I know I want to show my kids someday.
Yep.
Like essential stuff, because there's just not room to collect everything anymore. So these are wild. I have like 4 of these on the shelf next to each other. One of them's up there because that big blue thing right there is one of these. It's like shaped differently for some reason. It's like a big gift set.
Interesting.
But Curzon, like that, this is like some of the highest quality looking stuff. They're not cheap, but there's a lot of movies in there. So,
and you get your money's worth with them. Like, I know that they are expensive, but you feel like you're buying a super premium product.
Yeah, it's great. It feels like you funded a Kickstarter or something every time you buy one of those.
Yeah. I only have a couple of their releases, and it took me it was only last week when I watched my first one. I watched Paris, Texas from Kerzon. And that release blew me away. Like the transfer on that sucker. I don't know if you have the 4K from Criterion or not, but
I don't.
Spectacular transfer. And there are a couple of special features on there from the director, Wim Wenders, that talks about just the process of filming the movie and then the process of restoring the movie. And I love when companies go in depth on how the picture looks like what it does from the movie you just watched. From like compared to like what it looked like when it got released in theaters in the 80s. Like that stuff I could just dig into all day.
Nice. Yeah, I don't have any other, like they also do like standard hard boxes now. Kind of like an Arrow Video. I don't have any of those yet. They did one for Flow last year, which is really cool.
Oh yeah.
I want to get a couple of those, but right now I just have the director's box sets.
Okay. Well, let's see here. I feel like you are going to have more to talk about this label than I am, but I still kind of want to talk about Criterion right now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, there's no music, but I will still show off the title card because this is just a classic. That's all you need.
Simple, perfect. I've watched some Criterions with my kids, and my son was like, "I love it when it goes and like disappears. The text disappears. It's really satisfying."
I wonder when they started that, because I can't remember if like on the first Criterions I got were like Wes Anderson DVDs. I'm assuming they had that back then, but I don't know when that logo actually originated.
Well, the Wacky C logo they didn't have, because if you go back and get some older DVDs with the line logo where it just says Criterion at the top and it's like a black line, that was before they had the C. So I know it was after that.
Yeah. I have some laser discs from Criterion, and just like that blocky C that they used to have looks insane.
No, I love the logo now. It's I don't think they ever need to change it. It's perfect. It looks like a disc. This is the only boutique label shirt that I had, so I threw it on before we started recording. I need to support some other boutique labels. I need a Def Crocodile shirt is what I need.
Yeah. I have a couple, but I need more. But whenever I wear them out, like I get so many, just like I've only had one person come up to me like, "Oh man, I love that t-shirt." I was wearing some type of Umbrella Entertainment. I want to say it was for Razorback. That's what it was. I was wearing a Razorback t-shirt.
Oh, wow.
Like, oh my god, I love that movie. So that was very cool to see, but does not happen hardly ever.
No, we're a dying breed. I've wore like a Letterboxd shirt before and had like a waiter ask me what my Letterboxd was because he had one. So that's like the closest I can get to people recognizing stuff.
Yeah. Criterion movies. I think we should start off with just their classic standard case, because I feel like these, again, just I don't know, they are classy to me. And I know a couple of other boutique labels, like I think Def Crocodile uses this case now. Like I want to say these are just like standard Scanavo cases, but they just look so dang nice, and there's not a lot of clutter on the top or the bottom. There's just a little bit of clear around there that looks absolutely nice. The spines right here, always saying the Criterion Collection in a lot of different colors that still match up with what the movie is about. There's just, I don't know, these look very good in the collection when they're all grouped up together. That's for sure.
Yeah. Let me grab some stuff while you're talking, because I forgot to grab Criterion stuff.
Oh my God. I can't believe
what's wrong with me.
Okay. Well, on the inside of this crumb, like I feel like there's a lot of releases that they have that they put in different stuff. Like not a lot of art cards in Criterions, which are always great, but they have like some random stuff. They'll have some books in here, but then they also have like this little fold out here, a talent test from Mr. Crumb, like just very cool stuff that helps get you into, I don't know, it adds a different dimension. Like when you're watching the movie, And when you come back and you want to learn more about the movie, you have like you feel like you have a physical prop from the film that I always appreciate. But another cool release that I like that they did, the first release that I had, we've shown a lot of this cloth material off, but the first one I ever saw that did this was The Princess Bride. Like, to me, the packaging for this, like, it just looks like you're reading a fairy tale, and that's exactly what The Princess Bride is. I love this type of packaging so much. I wouldn't want anything else for this movie. And I feel like Criterion releases do that every now and again, but just boutique labels in general, when they get the packaging right and it feels like this is something that the movie was just like born to be packaged in, as soon as I saw this when I found it at Barnes and Noble, I immediately picked it up and like, yes, this is coming home with me.
Yeah, and then the 4K came out and it's an even bigger book.
A little bit thicker. Yeah, I know. I have not picked that one up yet because that is one negative. I guess talking into a negative about Criterion, when they re-release a movie from Blu-ray to 4K, they don't do much in changing packaging. And that always bums me out. Because if I have the Blu-ray and I'm going to spend $25 on a sale, $50 brand new on just a different disc, a different transfer of the movie, that I never do it. I'm just like, I'm okay with the Blu-ray here.
Yeah, I never upgrade the Criterions either. It's not enough motivation. Like, you got to do something else to make me upgrade than just the disc.
Well, those are the couple that I had. I know you are Mr. Criterion, so I kind of just wanted to lead the witness here, I guess.
Okay, I got some weird ones here. I should shout out to their digipacks. I really like. I think they're nice. I will say overall, like, exactly, I'll reiterate what you said. Like, overall, I actually think Criterion's one of the worst at packaging, or like, it's very cheap, flimsy kind of cardboard. They never do hard boxes. Mm-hmm. But what is great about them, the big pro for Criterion, is they have so many different unique packaging. Like, they don't just pick one thing and stick with it. Like, they do a lot of different things. So this is kind of their standard. This is the Pierre Atax box set. And what I love about Criterion, like a big pro for them, is you're getting box sets for movies that nobody is ever going to put a box set for. Like, this is a French comedy, mostly silent comedian director. He's looking at Jacques Tati and like all of the like silent, like Buster Keaton and Harold Lloyd and Charlie Chaplin and all those guys. Like, I loved going through this box set, but I had never heard of him before Criterion put this out. And this is all of his films. This is like a complete director collection of his films. Nice. So cool that they did that. They also do interesting stuff like this. Like, I don't know if you have the Carol Zeman box set. Great for kids if you have kids. This is an animated director. He does like stop motion, but also just like mixed media animation in general. And this box set is amazing what they did with this. So first of all, you'll love this because the booklet is made to look like a newspaper.
Absolutely. Love that.
So that's really cool. Like, period.
I want.
And to go along with his style of films, they did a pop-up for each one of his films. So the first film is a time-traveling film about dinosaurs. They have a pop-up mammoth in there.
Oh, my God.
The second film is this insane film that looks like every frame looks like a painting. And it's like a Jules Verne inspired film.
That's amazing. I had never heard of this release, and now I want it right now because that's the best. One that I didn't grab is Pinocchio. They did the same, not to that level, but like still like a level of like his nose kind of growing out. That's the attention to detail that I'm looking for.
Yeah, and Godzilla has the same thing with the like the whole Godzilla pop-up. Another one that I guess I'll show these real quick. This is the Jacques Tati set. Like, I love this. There's something about where the whole set feels like a piece, like an art piece, where it's not just like cases in a box. Like every one of these matches the design of the cover. They've got like a different color for each of these. This is all of the films of Jacques Tati. Everyone is a different color. Everyone has the same artist doing work. Like, this is so nice. Like, I love another director who's great for kids too, if you want to show your kids stuff. Like, this looks great. Like, this is the kind of stuff that you can't, we were talking about before, where it's like the limited model where you get the limited first and then you just take the booklet out and take the hard box off, and then that's the standard. Mm-hmm. This is different. Like, this is And I'll get into some of these where the limited is like a full digipack art piece. It's not just like standard editions in there. You actually get something different when you get this piece. Criterion doesn't do the limited thing, so it's not the same. But this is one of the coolest things they've done. This is actually a hard box that they did, and it's a digibook inside. This is all of Pasolini's films, another one of my favorite directors. It is the dreaded slide the discs in, which everyone hates.
Are those Blu-rays or 4Ks though?
They're Blu-rays.
See, on Blu-rays, that does not mind me that much at all, because Blu-rays have this protective layer on them to where like they do not scratch that easily.
Yeah, they're fine in there. There's also a huge booklet tucked into the book, which is pretty cool. Like it's a little tab.
Nice.
I love how this is designed. This is another one. Like just it's an art piece. Like everything in it is beautiful. And then this one I have to show off. One of my favorite directors of all time. Holy Grail piece that I finally got. I can't show you because it's in a protective case. But have you seen what it looks like inside the trilogy?
I have, and that thing is a work of art, man. It's very cool.
It's that fairy tale thing that you were just talking about. Like it opens up and it feels like you're in a Guillermo del Toro movie because like it's opening up like a puzzle box. It's so great. So they do really cool stuff, but I would say on the whole, their digipack, they're a little flimsy. I wish they would just get on board with like every other label and start doing hard boxes, because it seems like the standard these days. It seems like they're a little bit behind the times. But when they decide to go all out, like the Wes Anderson box set or any of these that I showed, like it's really cool when they go all out. This is one last thing that we haven't talked about at all yet, so I want to show this. This is the 6 Moral Tales by Eric Romer, which I mentioned earlier, one of my favorite directors. And it's 6 movies by him that he wrote short stories and made the movies at the same time. So they included the short stories in there. Like there's a whole book of all of the source material in there. So like you got a digipack and you got the book. Like that's really cool. I appreciate, like Second Sight does that sometimes. Like that's another avenue that I think is really cool. I don't think Arrow Video ever does. I wish they would include, like, if it's a big famous book that it's based on, like include the book. That's pretty cool. But that's my quick rundown of Criterion. But yeah, that could be a whole episode.
Yeah. I guess I do have a couple, since I'm so close to all my boutique stuff, I'm able to just like grab it while I'm hearing examples of yours. I really like the Before trilogy box set that they did. Like a whole trilogy. Like I blind bought this sucker when there was a Criterion half off sale. I feel like Criterion is one of the better labels to just blind buy stuff, because more often than not, you're not going to be disappointed with whatever you get. I fell in love with this trilogy. And just like all the artwork on here is absolutely stunning and kind of goes off the vibes of the front of the cover, like you were saying. But then we talk about the Pinocchio one, to where like the artwork just kind of pops out like so. Like I like the standard uniformity of their just standard cases, but sometimes like the box sets looking all together and grouped up kind of look chaotic. They kind of look like a jumbled mess a little bit. But when you pull them out and look at them individually, more often than not, they just feel right. You know, they feel complete.
Yeah, Arrow has the uniformity that looks really great on the shelf. So it depends. Like if you like really creative, innovative box sets, that's great. If you want them to look a little bit more uniform, then you're kind of out of luck with Criterion. Just stick to the standards, I guess, not the box sets, because their standards look good together.
Yeah. Okay, that I introduced Criterion, so if you want to introduce the next one,
sure,
go for it. That's all the Criterion I had.
And Criterion does a great job with their supplements too. Like they're always very professional.
Yes,
they're not Zoom calls. They're like in the studio. Like great.
Let's talk about that a little bit. I feel like it's becoming more of the norm is the Zoom interviews with like cast and crew, and that drives me up the wall.
I'm not a fan. I should take back what I just said, because for the new release of, speaking of Guillermo del Toro, they did I can't think of what's his circus movie or his carnival movie.
Nightmare Alley.
Yeah. There was a Guillermo and Bradley Cooper Zoom call on that disc, and it was great. It was very insightful. I loved hearing them talk about the meaning of the movie to themselves. But I just fly him in, man. He's probably already in LA. Like I guess they're in New York, so that's probably the problem. But yeah, so, I'm not a fan of the Zoom meeting. I do that all day at work. I don't want to put in a disc and do the same thing.
I have a little bit of history producing stuff now. Like I did it for the Dirties. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But for me, like it does eat into the costs to like have a camera crew go out there and interview the people. But the end result just looks so much better and makes the watching experience that much more beneficial. Like to me, it's worth like not making as much and just kind of doing it right. Like the Zoom calls just kind of feel like a crutch you're leaning on anytime I watch it, and it always just kind of pulls me out. Even if what you're talking about is great, it's still like, yeah, I look at Zoom calls all the time at work. Why do I want to be doing this on a movie that I want to learn more about? It just, I don't know. It just, something just pulls me out of that experience that I really don't like.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, I forgive some of the smaller labels, but it is weird to see Criterion or Arrow Video pop one of those out of nowhere.
Sure.
But yeah, that is my one gripe with special features. I mean, I guess I could have, if we could talk about it, we might talk about it a little more too. I was gonna jump into that label, but I know you'll have a lot to say about that one. So let me knock
go
out.
for it. Yeah,
Okay,
I will jump in whenever. Yeah, whenever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second Sight is my new favorite thing. Like again, another label that doesn't put out too many movies that interest me. It's kind of on that same wavelength as Arrow.
Yeah.
But every once in a while they'll put out this. Oh my, look at this. Oh, this is, and you know, if Second Sight puts it out, you don't have to buy it from anyone else. It is the definitive set.
Absolutely.
This is ridiculous. This is massive. This was a holy grail for a long time. This was before I found out about Second Sight. This was already out of print. It is, I mean, they do incredible digipacks in there. Like the artwork, I don't know if you have this or if you have the standard of this, but like, all 4 discs in there. And I think this Blu-ray in 4K? Yeah, these are okay. These are just Blu-ray in 4K.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So you have the 4K.
I just have the standard because on some of these, like I'd never seen Picnic at Hanging Rock before, so I didn't know if I wanted the big box set or if I just kind of wanted to. I've heard good things about it, so I just wanted to watch it for myself. I don't know if you've seen this transfer. Spectacular! Oh my god, just like jaw dropping on this sucker.
I actually haven't seen it yet. I know it's controversial.
I don't know the transfer or the movie.
The transfer, because he tweaked the colors and people were upset about the golden hue that he kind of added to it. But I'm excited to watch it because I love this movie, but I haven't seen it yet. I mean, I haven't seen this transfer yet.
The transfer looks like the movie was shot today, and I don't know what wizardry they went through and made that happen. But I was in awe that this movie is like, what, 50 years old? Like, does not look that old at all. So I'm very curious to see what your thoughts are on the transfer here, because that really brought me into the movie more than I was expecting to.
Yeah, I actually really like the movie. There's also some art cards in here. Again, not a huge fan, but I am a huge fan of this. This is just what I was talking about. Not only do they include the whole script, the whole source material, because this is based on a book. Here's the whole novel that it's based on. Like, this just looks like, if it was a little taller, it looks like you would just find it at Barnes and Noble. Like, this is crazy. It's a whole novel. And then they also include a booklet that's almost as thick as the novel is. Like, this is crazy. This is huge. Love Second Sight's box sets. I'm kind of happy that they don't put out too many movies that interest me, because I can't afford to buy too many of these, because there's a bunch, but the prices are great. We should say, like, they're like $60. Like, they're not even bad. The other one that I absolutely adored, like, this is my second favorite release from last year. That's
one I was going to grab, because I'd never seen the movie before, but I grabbed the big box set because I'm like, this is even a good price for this. I like the Sean Baker movies I've seen. Let's just give this a shot. And I'm so happy I got the big beefy box set for that movie, because just how simple it is, even when you open it up and it kind of looks like the hotel. And I don't know, that movie was a magical experience watching it. So for me personally, and all of the special features that they went into to kind of interview everybody that they possibly could about the film, I would say there's probably close to 3 times the amount of like runtime on the special features than the movie actually was. So if you really want to dig in deep to the Florida Project, pick up that box set from Second Sight and you will get your money's worth.
Yeah, I don't know if this is sold out or out of print at this point. This was hands down maybe second best experience I had last year with the film. I lived with this movie for like a month. I watched it. It was my first time watch for me as well. Absolutely loved the movie. I had fallen in love with Baker's stuff because Criterion has been releasing several of his films lately. And had never seen this one, got to go back to it. There's like 15 interviews. There's 2 different commentaries, one with some film historians, one with the director and writer. The writer has so much to say about the movie too, like their relationship. There's a behind the scenes that Sean Baker himself shoots for all of his movies. And this has 10 essays in it, this hardcover book. I read through this entire thing, so many different perspectives on the movie. Like, I guess I could get into this a little bit, why I love the booklet so much. It's like this. It's like watching people on YouTube and getting their perspective on a movie. I like to go right after I watch the movie and like get 10 other people's informed perspectives and like, oh, I didn't think of that. Like, and hear like different things that I didn't necessarily think of. So I love this. It's designed. I don't know if you flip through yours, but it's designed so well. Like throughout, there's
the different colors in there. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It just all
just
kind of vibes together, which is, yes, always good.
Crazy definitive release. I need them to do like more Sean Baker movies. Like that would be amazing. Get Red Rocket, get Starlet, because those have just like standard editions. Those don't even have boutiques. But yeah, I made it a point to 100% this last year. So I watched through like both commentaries, every single supplement, and read through the whole booklet. It took forever. It took like a month, but I finally did it, and it was great. It was such a good release. And then this one's even bigger. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I watched that movie a week after I put out like my best of 2025 physical media releases. That one would have been in my top 5 for sure, probably top 3 even, just because I was so blown away with the amount of effort that got put into that release.
It was amazing. Like I said, it was my top 2. I'll get to my 1 later, but then you get that like this, and then they one up themselves with this. Like this is crazy.
How fat can a box set get? Like that's what they keep on doing.
It's even like it's a lot bigger than the Florida Project, which is crazy. And I haven't gotten a chance to dive into this one yet, so I won't go through it too much. But I'll just say this: this is another thing that they include that I wish other labels would do. This is like Second Sight. I think it's the only one that does this. You get, first of all, a hardcover book in this one, just like it, but it's bigger than the Florida Project one. And you get a book just as big. This is the shooting script. This is the entire script with notes on it and everything. Like this is awesome. This is like definitive. They've done this before with their In Bruges box set. They included the shooting script on this too, which is, this is a director that you want the script because this is Martin McDonagh, one of my favorite directors, and he was a playwright first. So it's all about his writing. Like most of his stuff, I don't think they do a lot of improvisation. I think it's mostly in the writing. So like seeing how closely it fits to the script. There's also an essay booklet on that one too. Like, Second Sight, they're second to none. When they decide to do something, usually it's maybe a little too modern for me. They do a lot of like recent stuff, but when they decide to go back and do like this definitive, like classic stuff, they knock it out of the park. It's crazy.
Yeah. I love my Second Sight. Probably just overall my favorite physical media label out there because they do everything right. The one gripe that I have would be like for some of their box sets, like just one that I can easily grab is this Reanimator one right here. And I know that Ignite kind of put out this 4K first, so this is an oddity from them just because somebody already did this release and then Second Sight's like, we're gonna do this anyway. Like normally that's not the case with their stuff, but like for these art cards is just different artwork that's inside of the release, like in the case and whatnot. And then they just took that same artwork, gave me an art card. This just feels like the most bufferish stuff that they normally don't do. And it just bums me out whenever they throw in art cards because it should be something different. Or I don't know. Art cards, we've already talked about it a little bit, but I feel like Second Sight is kind of the worst. Like whenever they throw stuff in, it's hardly ever new material. They put new stuff in the Nice Guys one with like character one shots. That's stuff that I like. But whenever they just do the artwork that they commissioned in a different like format factor, like that's just, I don't know. That always sits wrong with me. And I'm just like, I'd rather just not have that in here because I'd rather just have like a cleaner box set and the cards just kind of feel like, I don't know, they feel not worthy of the box set, I guess.
Yeah, I would love to hear someone in the industry explain what the heck we're supposed to do with art cards. I never need them. Just add like 8 or 10 pages to the booklet and it's the same size as the booklet. Just put that artwork in the booklet if you want to show those pictures. Like, what is the point of having just a little thing? I'm not going to frame a little like
No,
index card size thing.
no.
Like it's so weird. I don't understand where that came from, and I don't understand who likes them. I've never talked to one collector that likes them, so I don't know why they keep. I think it's just a cheap thing to add value, to put in the big spread on the website when you spread all this crap out in the image for us to look at. It's like, oh, look at all this stuff, and it's like, oh, half of that's just paper.
Yeah, don't give me the fluff. I don't need the fluff. Second Sight isn't known for their fluff. They're known for like their high quality, thoughtful input into their stuff. So to me, just like throwing in some buffer stuff is just, I don't know, it's very unlike them, and I don't like
when it's this big, you don't need any fluff. Like, it's big enough.
That's true.
There's no reason for art cards in that one.
That is very true. But I also am a fan of just their standard releases too. I mean, there's no slipcovers on them, which I don't hate, because really the main reason why I love Second Sight so much is just because their transfers more often than not look phenomenal, and the special features on their discs, they are putting so much love and care into them. So anything on the disc is what I'm looking forward to most on a Second Sight release. The packaging is just for movies that I really love and enjoy, that I want to kind of showcase like that on my shelf, because we talked about it at the beginning. Like, space is at a premium. So if I'm going to get a big beefy box set, I want it to be for movies that I absolutely love. Even though I blind bought Florida Project, I still fell in love with that. Otherwise, it probably would have got traded out for something else. But for movies that I don't really like, The Brood was a first time watch for me. Didn't need the big box set for that. But again, the transfer was great, and there's great special features. I'm a big fan of video essays too, and more often than not, Second Sight throws in at least one on every single one of their releases. So that's always a plus for me. And these, they cost like $30. Like, it's $25-$30, something like that. The packaging isn't that flashy, but what you get on the disc is definitely worth the money.
Yeah, for sure. That's all I need. Audio commentaries, interviews, video essays. Like, those are the top supplements. If there's deleted scenes, that's fun too. But like, as far as the boutique stuff, creating stuff, like, I love listening to audio commentaries, love listening to interviews, especially if there's like that Florida Project where it was just like everyone giving like 10-15 minutes. Sean Bates, they had the archival interviews on that too, from like back in the day. I was like, this is so much information on this movie. It was fascinating.
Yeah, they went above and beyond for sure. I guess we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but should we just kind of go into Umbrella now?
Sure. I got some Umbrella stuff here.
Okay. Yeah. I've got a couple as well. I don't have their new intro, but I have a couple of old ones. I'll just play like their newest, oldest one, I guess is the best way to say it. It's fine. It doesn't really get me too much in the mood. Have you seen their old school logo?
Like, no, I'm new to Umbrella. That's the only one I know, but it doesn't seem like a It doesn't seem like a Blu-ray label. It seems like a studio logo or something.
Kind of there. You're a fan of animation, DJ, right? Like, just like me, you love that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I have to play this because I don't know where these came from. I don't know if they were ever pressed on disc, but the Umbrella started out as like their mascot, and I will kind of showcase that off now.
What?
You didn't even know that existed, DJ?
No, what? I thought it was a banana when he first came out. What the heck is that?
And I don't know what the square was in there. Like, I don't know if that's just very early animation, but they had like 4 or 5 of those like opening intro cards of the Umbrella doing something crazy. So I kind of like that old school approach to it. The new one is just kind of very flashy and just has Umbrella in a different font with like rain coming down. That one feels the most like, okay, we're a real boutique label now, and we're kind of putting our footprint onto something. But I kind of like the old school art intro too, the mascot guy.
That old school one was wild. That's super retro for sure. Never seen that before.
Well, I'm glad I could show you and get your live reaction. That's always fun to do. But to me, why I love Umbrella so much is because out of like their standard like collector's edition packaging, I'm never mad when I get just like one of these box sets because they're always so dang nice. I feel like they've kind of perfected what to put inside of a disc or inside of a box set. I will showcase off the dirties because this is one that I produced, that I worked on, that I filmed interviews for, that I had a lot of input on. So the fact that I finally have something that I worked so hard on in my hands is just kind of crazy and baffling and cool. And I talked with the director, I talked with the cinematographer, who were very hands-on with the making of this movie, and I got their input on like what they wanted, what they didn't. The main poster that got released for this movie was one they didn't have input on. It's one that the studio just kind of slap chopped on there, and they've always hated. So I made sure that that poster was not in this set at all because the guys do not like it. Like, this is one of the posters they originally wanted to go with that they got denied. So let's just kind of slap it on the case here. So
That's
it just
awesome.
the amount of special features on this release in particular, some of their releases are kind of more bare bones than others, but ones that I made it kind of my mission to cram this sucker with as much special features as possible. And like, it's hard to even read. That's the amount of special features that are on here. It's just very small print, a lot of archival, a lot of new. There's probably over an hour and a half's worth of new special features on here, on top of like the hour and a half of archival stuff that we pulled from the old DVD. Just, I don't know, a lot. I really like these box sets. I like how every single one of their box sets, except for like newer movies, like the Bambis of the world, they come with a slipcover inside of the box set. I think that's always a top tier move that I wish more studios did. Like Arrow Video does not do that.
Yeah.
Love the slipcover inside of the box set. I also love how the O card that comes on the back of their cards is able to come off, doesn't leave like any residue or anything on the back, and it fits inside the box without having to fold it. Like, that's my favorite thing in the world. Whenever like the J cards come on some of these, like the one that randomly fell from Second Sight, this guy for their box sets like this, I like to keep them just to have this information, but it does not look great just like with the papers dangling behind you, but you can't fold it and put it in the box, and I don't want to throw it away, so they just look kind of haphazard in the collection, and those aren't my favorite. When you can put things that are from the release and just kind of archive them in the box just so they don't, it just looks like a cleaner experience, and it helps my OCD, like not having to fold things, because I hate folding things just to make it fit. That's never been my thing at all. They always have a book, which always does not use artwork that has been already used in the release. It's always something completely different, which is always nice. The one gripe I could have are art cards. I tried to get different art cards in this release. I could not get it. I tried to approve it like very last second, did not work. So some of these are stills, and the stills I do like. But then we also got some posters in here as well. Art cards, give or take, but in their releases, they always put them in. And they're a little bit bigger than most, which if you're going to put an art card in there, I kind of want a larger sized art card. That's always nice. But yeah, just like for a collector's edition, Umbrella, I think, is second to none, and they come out with so many in a year, and they always look so nice, all uniform on the shelf. So I don't really have a lot of complaints when it comes to like their beefy box sets.
Yeah, like you said, they kind of feel like a boutique label put together by people who collect boutiques.
Mm-hmm.
Like they feel very customer friendly. I love that this is, I'll go ahead and reveal, this was the one that beat out Florida Project. This was my #1 of the year last year.
Great release, yes.
Love this release. Like you said, they give you the slip cover inside, which Arrow Video doesn't do. Like, I think there are some everyone talks like Arrow Video is perfect. I feel like they can improve a little bit. There's some things that the other boutique labels do a little bit better. Yeah. And then we're talking about Second Sight. There's another hardcover book in here with like 10 essays. Again, this was another one last year that I was like, the first essay right out the gate by William Bibiani, who I know from YouTube. I was like, what? He like unlocked the movie for me in a whole different way than I had ever thought about it before. And this is already one of my favorite movies. So it was like, this is such a good release. And the supplements on this release were insane. Like the director talked for like 45 minutes to an hour, like a whole brand new interview. There was a bunch of archival stuff as well. So much to dig into with this release. Like this was, I was so happy this came back. I don't know if you noticed because you get yours ahead of time, but this went out of print, and I was so upset because I thought I lost it. And then one of my subscribers was like, "Hey, they just got some more back in," and I like immediately bought it. Like, it didn't even think about it.
Right.
So I was so excited about that.
Friend of the guest on the podcast, Justin Beam. He did the interviews for that movie. So I've kind of talked to him about his time with Tarsem, and that dude is a character to say the least. And I really like
Yeah.
his interview style, the questions that he asks, and just the way he kind of captures the interview. Because I was thoroughly locked and entertained during that interview segment that he had, even though it was so damn long. I did not care. I was just kind of buckled in for the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, and you compare this to The Cell from Arrow Video, like this blows it out of the water. Like this is the definitive. I never need another release of the fall. And this also came out last year. I don't know if you watched this one.
No,
With the window, like
it's very
so cool. This
Yeah.
movie's all about like his dream world where he's like a fit TV show host,
Mhm.
and it's like his brain right there.
Yeah,
That's
Michel
so
Gondry,
cool.
so the guy who directed like
Yes.
Be Kind, Rewind, and Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind. Like it's that type of imagery, except completely crazy because it's all happening in his mind. I've seen the movie, but I've not watched that release yet.
Yeah, and these are both music video directors that
Mhm.
came to do movies, so their visuals are insane.
Right.
That was another amazing release last year, and this highlights what I love about Umbrella is of all the labels, they don't seem to have a niche. Like Criterion, you kind of know what kind of film you're getting. A lot of the labels are kind of horror or culty. I think
Mhm.
maybe Umbrella started that way, but they have been branching out. Like they have a whole line of like independent coming of age stories, which I love, like Lars and the Real Girl, and that new one that you just showed off, the grocery store one, something
Oh,
change,
Cashback. Yeah.
cash pack.
Mhm.
Like they're starting all these different little niches. I think that's awesome. They're even doing like some Criterion releases. They just released a Louis Buñuel film last year, which I was like pretty shocked by. They announced a Almodovar film, but then I think it got pulled from America.
Hmm.
That's been happening a little bit because of the rights or whatever. I was excited
Mhm.
about that, but it got pulled unfortunately. But yeah, they're just putting out all kinds of stuff, and not all of it appeals to me, but the ones that do, like, it's the definitive release. Like I mean, we don't need to show it again because you've shown it a bunch of times on your channel, but like, ugh,
But this is the one that like really I've been covering every single new release from Umbrella for over 3 years now. And like I was there before they started making uniform box sets like this. This was Razorback was the first one, but like this is the one that really got them on the map and been like, oh, they're putting out this movie in 4K. And then you showcase off this box and you showcase off everything that's included in this box set, a big shooting script of the movie. There's a ginormous booklet full of so many like archival materials and behind the scenes stuff. And then you also get another little smaller magazine in there that's a replica magazine, which I've seen nobody else do, that I absolutely love that Umbrella does. It was like it was a reprint of a gaming magazine that talked about Super Mario Brothers and like just the process of making that. I absolutely love that. The only boutique label that I've ever seen put a film cell in their releases. Like this is the little touch that I absolutely cannot get enough of, because if you want to, like, I don't know, utilize the film cell, there's just a magnet that comes off and you can take the film cell right off of there if you'd like to. It's just little things that Umbrella does that they think outside the box every now and again. And it just blows me away every time that they do.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a Tetris game trying to get everything back in
I know,
here.
right?
There's so
Yeah.
much stuff in here.
Mhm.
I actually bought this used secondhand from a Facebook seller, and he was actually here in Georgia, so I met him in person to get
Nice.
this from him. And he couldn't get the posters back in. He was like, "The posters are in the box. I couldn't get it back in." I was so proud that I actually got everything back in there. But that is, I wished I liked the movie a little bit more. I think it's a fun movie. I think it's pretty enjoyable. But
I grew up
like,
with Super Mario Brothers. Like that was like one of the 25 movies I had in my collection that my parents had. So the fact that they decided to put that movie out specifically for me is just like, oh my god, this is like match made in heaven stuff.
oh yeah.
I'm still floored that they put out a huge release for that movie in particular.
Yeah, I can't wait till my kids are old enough. I'll show my kids this movie. Like it's wild. And this is one that you want the shooting script for because it went through so many iterations and was like
Right.
completely torn apart by the studio. Like it gives you such a more complete experience and knowing exactly how the film became what the weird thing that it is. Some people think it's abomination. I think it's actually kind of fun. But it's wild. And I don't think they've ever, I guess Caligula is kind of that size.
I was going to show that off. besides like the full moon box sets, like for one individual movie, like these box sets are insanely huge and in depth for just one film. And there's multiple cuts of the movie in this release. I think every single cut of the movie ever put to film is just like in this box set. And the replica magazine they have in here is a nudie magazine that kind of goes over the people that helped produce this movie. That's the magazine company that was in here. Just, I don't know. They think outside the box on a lot of their stuff, and that's what really makes me, I don't know, happy to collect for them. Happy that they are showing so much success since I've helped kind of spread the word on their release. My first physical media release that I ever took part of was Freaked, and the fact that this movie got the amount of love and care that it did is absolutely still wild to me. They can do Freaked, and then they can do a box set. We were just talking about the director here for The Last Wave. Like, they just kind of go all over the board, man. It's absolutely wild.
That is my holy. I'm so jealous that you have that. That is my holy grail.
I'll put it back. I'll put it back, DJ.
That's the same director as Picnic at Hanging Rock.
Yeah.
That goes. There's one on eBay and it's like $400. I can't. I'm never gonna pay that. I might pay like $150 for it, but like it's impossible. It never pops up. That's my holy grail. That's awesome.
I didn't know that. sorry about that, bud.
No, it's cool. I knew you had it already because you have all of those. So. But yeah, Umbrella's great. I don't pick up too many of their releases, but like I said, when I do, I am never disappointed.
Well, perfect. Well, I think I brought up Umbrella. Do you have any more in your stack of goodies over there?
Yeah, I would like to talk about. This is like my new obsession, actually. I've just gotten into them very recently, and it's Eureka. Do you have any Eureka releases?
I have a couple, but I did not grab any of them, and I don't have enough to put up on the wall yet, but I have a couple of box sets from them, like their Masters of Cinema line. I have a few of those. I have not watched, I think I've only watched one of theirs. So if you want to take the floor on this label, by all means.
Yeah, that is they were right up my alley. Like you said, Masters of Cinema. They're putting out like these definitive, like all-timers. And they always do such a good job. I feel like they do the best job with supplements. I grabbed a couple. I actually wanted to grab one more, but I just, like I said, I recently rearranged my shelf by boutique labels. And once I got all the Eurekas next to each other, I got like this bug and I was like, oh, I got to get more of these because they look so good next to each other. I don't know if you can't really see, but this whole like section right here is all Eureka. And this is their they have standard editions just with slip covers, just like Arrow, but they do the hard boxes for some of their releases. And these are just the most definitive releases ever. Like all we got in America for this movie was like the Kino Lorber, which is great. It's got the movie. It's got all the like discovered footage that was found in 2010, like the uncovered footage. But just look at that wall of supplements. Like they do such a good job of supplements, different versions of the film. Like there was a version of the film that came out in the 80s that was like completely rescored with like rock music that includes a lot of artists. And they included that on this version, which is not in the Kino Lorber. Solid hard box. I love their Eureka logo with like the negative space up there. It looks great. They always put that next to each other. They have the clear cases, 3 discs in here. Like this is so much on this film. This is it's one of the greatest movies of all time. It's classic. But then you get this, like just looks like a book, like completely designed book. You include Eureka does a really good job of like including the stuff that you want. Like there's a lot of writing, but they also show like marketing materials and like original posters, like all that stuff that is you have to actually like search for because this is a 100-year-old movie. Like you're not going to see this stuff just like with a quick Google search. So this is like my library. Like I want to get as many of these definitive like library editions. Like they have this Buster Keaton set, which is all of Buster Keaton's short films, like all of his short films. And it's
wild.
In these, they're all in these like nice boutique cases, and the booklet in here. I don't think this is like a 200-page booklet. This is crazy for like Buster Keaton. Like I'm not going to get this from Arrow Video, right? Like this is a very specific thing that I love to collect. I feel like one of the negatives I have for Eureka is that they are starting to do the like a lot of labels. Arrow's doing a little bit too. They're pivoting towards Asian cinema, like a lot of Asian cinema, like a lot of their masters of cinema that they're releasing now are that, which is cool. But it's not the reason I started collecting them, you know, like I know that's a huge market and there's a lot of money in that. And that's kind of where the market is going a little bit. But I want like classic German expressionism films. Like this is that's what I'm kind of getting into. Like Criterion puts out a little bit of silent films, but not much. So Eureka was really like my go-to. And I've been going back and like collecting all of the out of print stuff that they used to put out.
I get a lot of Eureka stuff sent to me from MVD, like their new release, just US stuff. But I would say 75% of that stuff is like a whole bunch of martial arts movies. And like, that's one genre of film that I really have not gotten into that much, is martial arts stuff. Because I feel like if you've seen one, you've seen the majority of them, just like the vibe that it throws off. I thought the same way about Westerns, but I really learned to love that genre. So I'm hoping that with martial arts, I can kind of do the same thing. But there are a lot of boutique labels that just put out a bunch of martial arts content. It must be popular and selling well for somebody.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant when I was talking about Eureka. Like they've really pivoted into that. But I don't know if you saw this last year. This is insane that they did this. This is a French director who did a bunch of crime serials, Louis Foyard. And they put out all of his crime serials, and each one, this is what I was talking about, where it kind of feels like a piece, like each one of the serials gets its own like color digipack. With,
that whole thing's like a work of art, man. That's cool looking.
It is wild. Like I was another one that I was lucky to get because it went out of print, and then like Orbit got a couple copies, and I was able to like snatch one. It literally got like 3 copies. It's when it's nice you have a YouTube channel because your subscribers know what you like, and they're like, Orbit got 3 copies of that. Like, quick, go order it. So that's how I was able to get it. So like, Eureka is killing it still, even though they are doing a lot of martial arts stuff. They're still putting out. They're doing a release of Danger Diabolic that's coming out, which is a Mario Bava film. I've already pre-ordered it. It's coming next month. So Eureka's one of the goats in my opinion. Like I really like the UK labels, and they're like top 2 for me. So I love it.
Very nice. Yeah, you're a big fan of them. You're a big fan of Indicator. Like that's some of like the UK exclusive stuff. I really have not dug in as much as I probably should, because the whole region B aspect of it. I only have one player in my entire house that is region free, so that's kind of like a barrier to entry for me. Is that I can only watch this on one of my televisions. Like I don't know why I have that in my head. Like I can still watch it, but I think it's why I'm not dipping all of my toes inside of like the UK waters.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, it's expensive. I mean, they don't really do deals with us because it doesn't make sense to ship stuff. All Australia does it, but like I've reached out to Eureka before. Like I can't get any of the UK labels to kind of send stuff because I don't know. They do such limiteds. I feel like the limited editions sell out anyway, so they don't need us. Like there's no reason to promote them because they know they're going to sell out anyway. So
sure, I can see that. But kind of speaking of Australia, talk about Umbrella. We have not talked about Imprint yet. And that's Imprint has been kind of going insane with the amount of like different types of packaging that they're putting out there, which I kind of love. I kind of like how they're trying to do something different in the medium. The one, like, I've also been collecting Imprint for a very long time, and I absolutely love just their box sets because they have that definitive like triangle cut that I love. And like I think you can kind of see this in my bottom row down here. Maybe I can kind of aim this down a little bit more. But like I have a whole row of just Imprint box sets. They look so dang nice, like just all together with like that little triangle just popping up all over the place. But what I love about these box sets, kind of like what Umbrella does, they have a little like informational card right here that slips right into the box set. You don't have to fold it up. They have individual cases for the different movies or even bonus material that's in here. For Jade, the reason why I pulled this one, they have the movie in both 4K and Blu-ray in this case. But I had the Vinegar Syndrome version of Jade. I was going to be happy with that. And then Imprint announced this box set, and it comes with the documentary The Kid Stays in the Picture, which is all about Robert Evans, the producer of Jade. Jade's barely mentioned in this documentary. It's like a footprint at the very end. But knowing the ride that Robert Evans went in his entire career at Paramount, it kind of just like brings to the table how crazy Jade was to get released after learning about Robert Evans' experiences in the Hollywood machine for 30 years. And then we also, some of their box sets have booklets as well. They just started putting hardbound booklets in there, which I love. Like, especially this reminds me of like a kid's booklet almost. Like the thinness of this. It just reminds me, this is not imagery for children, but just like the thinness of this definitely is. I don't know. Just little cool things about these box sets. Here's the little O card that fits right here. You take it off, still slips in like so. Their box sets come in like this size. They also come in like, where's like my biggest one? Here's a we were talking about like directors. They do like a film focus series. Here's one on Harvey Keitel, and every single movie has its own case in there. Kind of like this looks like a Dexter slide collection almost, where you can just kind of pick and thumb through. I really like the box sets that they do. I don't know if you have a couple you want to show off too, because they have a couple different other shapes and sizes that I can talk about later.
Yeah, sure. Speaking of directors, like what I love most about Imprint is the diversity of the, like they put together wild things that you won't think of. Like it's not just directors or this, it's a director. This is Martin Scorsese, but it's also a specific
Films
trilogy.
by
Like
Faith.
this is his
Yeah.
films of Faith trilogy.
Yep.
So you got Last Temptation of Christ, you got Kundun, and you got Silence in there, all in their own cases. Kundun had never really gotten like a nice release. That was like super expensive on eBay. It was kind of like a Dogma situation. Hardcover book. There's more imagery not suitable for kids, but
Right.
but there you go. You like get the hardcover book. Like that looks really nice. They put together like these really interesting collections, which is what I love. Like this one here, one of the coolest things I got last year, and I had no idea what this was before. This is a very interesting Western starring Terrence Stamp, and that's what Blue is. And then the movie Fade In is a romance with Burt Reynolds that in the movie Fade In, they're making the movie Blue. Like it takes place on a film set. It's like a romance takes place on a film set. So these movies are connected in like a real meta way. And then the third thing in here is a documentary, again, all about the director of Blue, who was this really interesting, like French Canadian director, or Italian. I think he was Italian, but he was from Canada. And this documentary goes in super detail about like it goes through every film that he made. And I wanted to watch all of them after this documentary because it was such a good documentary. It's by Daniel Kremer, who does some of their special features. I don't know if you know him or not, but it was really well put together. And I didn't know about any of that before I got the box set. And then another really like interesting box set.
Yeah, they're Tales of Adventure. They have a bunch of those now, but they all look very cool. All their box sets look completely different.
Yeah, at one point I wanted to collect the Tales of Adventure, but they're like up to like 12 now, and I'm just like, well, I guess I'm not doing that. This one though is especially interesting because it's not a genre, it's just a story. Like it's the Thief of Baghdad, like all the adaptations of the Thief of Baghdad. So you got like the Douglas Fairbanks silent version, you got the 1940 like amazing version that's in Criterion, and then they dug up this like Italian version that no one had heard of from the 50s, and they included that one as well. Like
it's cool.
It's so much fun. I just watched the 1940s version with my kids. One of the best fantasy movies ever. So I love their interesting creative box sets that they put together. My one gripe with them is, well, first of all, I kind of wish they would do like the Scanavo case, or I don't know, just a little bit nicer of a case than these. But the booklets sometimes are very padded with images. It'll be like one essay and then just like a bunch of shots from the movie that I don't need. I can just watch the movie for that. So hopefully they beef up their booklets.
Agreed there. I think the Jade one is 75% images. And like the rest of it, like no essays whatsoever, but it's like production notes. And then production notes and high glossy images. That was all that was in that, but that's why the book was so skinny.
So that's kind of a bummer because I'll watch, like I just watched the other black and white noir movie that they just put out, Last Seduction. And then I was like, I really, really loved the movie. Me and my wife watched that one together. It was great. And then there's just one essay in the book, and it's just like a bunch of pictures,
Mhm.
and it has some production notes. But yeah, I need that. Like, I need them to take a page at a Second Sight or Indicator and like really dig into the get some writers on board, because I know there's people that want to write about these movies. Just got to find them.
Right. Find them and like paying for the content are two different things.
That's true. That's
yeah,
true.
I'll leave it at that. I also like their standard releases because they have the slip cases. And I think a slip case is damn sexy. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but it just does something to me. Like, if it was just this on the shelf, I wouldn't be as happy as I am, because this is like it's not super thick, but it is like high glossy material. And the more that you have lined up just in your collection, the more that they just like look so nice together. So one negative that I positive with a negative with Imprint. Like, Imprint is very yo-yo-ish for me, because on a lot of their releases, they do not have a lot of new special features, which again, I'm always bummed out about. I bought the Bad News Bears because they came out with like all three of them in like releases like this, and they looked great. Not all three, but like three of them. But there's no special features to dig into, and that's always just a huge negative for me.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the newest releases that they came out with really shocked me, because Sword and the Sorcerer is a movie that I think is just okay. It's fine. Lenticulars, they are insane with like the level of pop on there. So you get a lenticular on the front, the side looks good, the back is a very high glossy image, and then on the inside, they're starting to put steelbooks in these box sets.
I did not know that was a steelbook. I declined that one because I have the 101 Films box set of that.
And this steelbook, very high gloss, one of my favorite steelbooks of the year so far, because the artwork on here absolutely pops like mad. You get the 4K and Blu-ray. It even says in the back that even though they didn't do any new special features for this release, where's that card at? I think it's... Oh, no, it's on the back here. Okay. You can see that they just took a whole bunch of the special features from Shout. Like, that's one of the logos there. So in that case, I'm not a huge... like, there's not a lot for me to gripe about, because the special features that Shout did are more often than not pretty damn good. Instead of a booklet in this release, they decided to go and kind of with like their big bad huge box sets, the Voodoo Daddy box sets. They decided to do a ginormous glossy poster. We're not talking like Arrow Video posters. Yeah. We're talking like huge very fancy posters. Like, this one would be one that I could see hanging up if you're a fan of the movie, because they give you artwork that's not on this release, and they also give you the theatrical artwork. They give you artwork from the US on the poster, and then they give you like international poster artwork on here. So that's something different that I've seen from them that really stood out for me. So I like these. They've done the steelbook thing is what's really like, oh yeah, okay, great. All of their Imprint Asia stuff, that Golden Princess catalog is getting milked like crazy from so many different boutiques. You have Shout doing it, you have Arrow doing it in the UK, and now you have Imprint doing it in Australia. But all of Australia's Imprint Asias have this box set with a steelbook. And from what I've seen, the artwork on the steelbooks look insane. So even though I have quite a few of the Golden Princess stuff, I kind of want the Imprint, just because the complete package of a steelbook and a nice box set like this really does something for me personally.
Yeah, I passed on those because I already had Beastmaster and Sword and Sorcerer from other labels. Those are really nice. I guess I maybe shouldn't have, but I do have the Chinese Ghost Story. I just got a box from them today with all the Asia steelbook stuff. So I got Chinese Ghost Story Trilogy and Peking Opera Blues. So I'm excited to open those up, because
absolutely.
I knew they did the steelbook for Neverending Story, which I got, but I didn't know that they were doing that more often. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're putting out a lot of 2026 releases like that. So just kind of be on the lookout. But I would be... I don't think we can not talk about the ginormous box sets that they've decided to put out for a whole bunch of different movies. They will cost you an arm and a leg and probably a couple other appendages, but they are at least doing something different. Like this Dune one, I didn't even know if I wanted it. And then I saw that it was like it does the sandbox effect. It takes a little bit of time for this to actually start pouring down, but when it does, the effect is unlike anything else that I have in my collection. So I really just appreciate the attention to detail of doing something completely new. And if you're a fan of either this movie or the Kill Bill 1 and 2 or Silent Night Deadly Night 1 and 2 or Life Force or Never Ending Story, like these are the best premium editions that you can get packaging wise, because they just do it different. Like you can see I have the protective case, so I'm not going to take it off, but like it's like a sandpaper grit to this box set that I've never seen happen or on any physical media release. So the fact that they're thinking outside the box and doing like, hey, you think a box set is super premium? Hold my beer. This is like super duper premium. We're coming out the gate swinging, and I just like the originality that they're kind of showcasing with these.
Yeah, it is interesting where their interest is, because it seems like they make up for. I agree. There's a lack of special features on a lot of their releases, unless they are able to port them from somewhere else. They don't do a lot themselves. So it seems like they make up for it with like, let's do something really crazy with the packaging to make up for that. But like I said, when they get a documentarian to include, like when they include stuff that already exists, they can put together some really definitive releases. But for the movies that don't have much, it's just kind of like, well, you get the trailer, maybe a featurette or something like that, which is kind of unfortunate. But I don't know. I love Imprint. I think for some reason they're focused on cranking out like as much as they can. Like they've only been around for so many years, and they're already like spy number 500 something already. Like they're going for quantity over quality sometimes. I think they do put out some quality stuff, but they are really trying to crank up those numbers, which I guess it's working for them. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. No, good for them. Well, that's all I had for Imprint. So if you want to go on to your next one, we're already at 2 hours here, DJ. So
we might need
to like, I don't know how many you have left, but I can just kind of, I don't know, shoot a little bit quicker on some of the ones that I have, because I don't have a lot left, but they are a lot of different labels, I guess.
Well, yeah, you let me know like when you want to wrap this up. I don't want to go too long. I can just like mention.
Fine. Just
Okay. I don't want your video to be insanely long. This could be the longest video on the whole channel. It's just us showing up. I
want to say my talk with Mexi Funk was about a couple hours as well. So we're like in contention for the longest Boutique Talk podcast. That's not a bad thing by any means, but
hey, we're making history, man.
Well, let's see how long we can go, DJ.
I'm here all night. My wife takes the kids on Wednesday morning to the bus so I can sleep in.
Perfect.
I got to shout out Indicator. I mentioned them briefly. What Eureka and Indicator are like peak. I think Eureka puts out a little bit more, like title selection is a little bit higher with like those definitive like all timers. But Indicator does the best box sets I've ever seen. And I've been watching through this one recently with my wife. This is a Marlene Dietrich, Josef von Sternberg like duo box set. So it's all the films they did together. It's all 6 of the films they did together. Look at this artwork. Like, and it wraps all the way around. Is a beautiful box set. They put all of the films with the dates on the back, so you can just like quickly pop in and see which order to watch them in. The artwork is stunning. They do these instead of J cards. They do these little kind of like slide things, which are really nice. They have the number on the back. Eureka doesn't tell you what number limited you get. I like that they do this front and center.
The individual number is something that I think more boutiques should do, because every time I see it, I'm like, oh, that's just nice to have, you know?
Yeah, you get the number, you get all 6 posters right there of the films. You get the films listed on the side. I actually take these off because I want to show like the glorious spine artwork in all its glory. So, but you just fold this up, and I like just slide them into. I have like a little plastic sleeve that I just put all of them in together, so I know where they are if I ever want to like trade one of these or something. But you get this, and this is what I'm talking about, where the limited, they do standards after the fact that are just like plastic cases, but it's not just this re-released without the box set and the booklet. This is a whole designed piece. You get original posters on all of these digipacks for each film.
That's nice.
This is these are all, we're almost done with this box set. We've watched 5 out of the 6 movies. I think I've given all of them 4.5 stars. Like, this is such a good box set. And it's also in Criterion too, but this version blows it out of the water. Like, that version is not great. And they also give you like another poster on the inside. Like, this is like a designed piece. The special features on each disc are loaded. This is one that I've been reading at my son's soccer practice, like I just said, because you get a huge booklet with like, and this is Indicator. I would put at the top. Eureka I put at the top for special features. Indicator I put at the top for booklets, because it's not just essays. You get essays, You get interviews, like written interviews, like for magazines. This one, because it's from this time period, you get a newspaper clipping of a strudel restaurant that boasted that Marlene Dietrich liked her strudel, and she would have it sent to her. You
That's
get
cool.
a newspaper article about how her son was threatened to be kidnapped, and there was like and a whole investigation. These people like put a ransom note with like actual magazine pages. You get like from her autobiography, like excerpts from that. You get excerpts from the director's autobiography. Like they do so much research and pull all of this stuff together. Another one recently that I went through, they have these gorgeous Harryhausen box sets. And look at this artwork.
Yeah, that's
And they always
amazing.
go all the way around, like they always wrap around.
I love the continuous image, like we were talking about with a possessor or possession. Just like there's something about that just like feels right,
like
you know.
they've released 3 Harryhausen box sets. There's this volume 1, there's a volume 2, and there's a Sinbad box set for all 3 of his Sinbad movies. And I watched through those recently with my kids. They love, my daughter especially. For some reason, my younger daughter loves like scarier stuff, like adventure, like action stuff. So she loved the Sinbad movies. And the booklet in that box set, it's the same as this. You get 3 individual cases. The earlier ones were like those nice Skinabo cases. I've actually come around and I actually prefer the digipacks just because it feels like a piece, like a whole art piece, like you said.
It felt glossy, almost, or they looked glossy almost.
Yeah, they're the highest quality. Like I love that. This is what they used to do. They used to do the Skinabo cases, which is really nice too. Like I'm not going to scoff at that either. But the booklet I've never seen this before. The booklet in the Sinbad box included an oral history. It's basically like a documentary in written form. Like it was one guy who does all this research. He pulls all these quotes from everybody. So you have like directors and writers and actors. He puts all of them together, and it's like you're reading a documentary. It was great. I was just like at my son's soccer practice, like learning all of this information about these films. I'm hopefully going to do a video soon about that whole experience. But like, Indicator is like it is what I crave right now. Like we were talking about at the beginning of the video. Like if I want a holistic experience with a film, like this will give me. It's all in one little package, and I get like everything I want. They do such a good job with special features. They do such a good job with the booklets, and now they're doing these little slim hard boxes. Have you seen these?
No, I have not, but that looks spectacular.
This is a hard box, and it's everything you need because they don't use the case. You're not losing anything in this. You're losing the art cards, Arrow Video, which is great. But because they're doing the digipacks now, it can be slimmer. Like you don't need the big fat case in there for no reason.
That's
because
nice.
it's just a Blu-ray disc, and you still get the full thing. You have room for the big old definitive booklet that they do. Like this, I have been made a believer of these slim because they're US now. They sell them at Barnes and Nobles.
Oh,
so that's
really?
where I got these from.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you got to go check these out. These slim hard boxes. This is a Jean Rollin film. They've put out like 12, 15 of his films now. They're on a real Jean Rollin kick lately. These sets are like perfect for me. I get the book. I get a wall of like, look at that. For this little 70s like erotic horror film, they get that many special features and a thick booklet. Like it's crazy what they do at an Indicator. I'm a huge fan. It sucks when some of the titles are UK only, but I'm okay to pay a little bit extra on eBay because they're if you like a movie that they put out, like we said with Umbrella, you have to get it. It's the definitive release.
Well, hopefully you can talk to the powers that be at Barnes and Noble, and hopefully they can hold like a month-long 50% off sale on Indicator titles. Because I feel like I had no idea that they carried those titles. I feel like that'd be a good way to help spread the word that they're actually there.
Oh yeah, they just did. They did it in January.
Oh my God,
you missed it.
I did miss it. I had no idea.
Yeah, they sent me a few. That's where I got this new Vampire. They were trying to hype that up. Like now they're doing I think a Paramount sale, which is not as exciting. But yeah, they didn't.
I like how they're doing label sales because there were a couple of Paramount movies that I needed to add to the collection. Might as well do it now. It gives me a reason to do it. What did I get? I got To Catch a Thief, that Steelbook, because I did not get that right away. But for $17, I'm definitely going to grab it.
Yeah, they've been doing really good. They usually do an Arrow sale like the month after the Criterion sale. They did that. No, it was January. February was the Indicator and Radiance sale. They had a 50% off on both of those.
I knew the
So
Radiance. I didn't know the Indicator. Okay.
yeah, it was really cool. I was excited to. I think they like doubled my or in my Indicator collection that month because they were like, "Hey, you want to check out these new titles?" I was like, "Sure, that sounds awesome."
Right.
So yeah, hopefully that's like a couple times a year that they start doing that because they're putting out some cool stuff.
Yeah. Even like the annual thing. Like I think last March they did the Paramount sale and now they're doing it again this March. So
Mhm.
even if it's just like 1 month a year, it's still something to kind of mark on your calendar if they continuously do it. Like, yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, yeah. I
Mhm.
can't wait for their next Arrow sale because there's been some stuff coming out lately. Like I was not expecting that to get a hard box. The Red Sonja, I thought that was for sure
Mhm.
going to be just a slipcover. They did a hard box for Red
Yeah.
Sonja.
I think it's
That's
because they
crazy.
they did both Conan movies as a hard
Yeah.
box that they felt obligated to do Red Sonja, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but still
No, it's
kind
awesome.
of out of left field for sure.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, I could show off a million indicators, but I'll just leave it at that. They do really good stuff.
Sure. Next one I have is they are, I guess, kind of a boutique label. I'm going to show off some A24 stuff
Oh yeah.
because I
Yeah.
I really like how I was so like on the fence on if I liked the barcode. That's the first thing I'm going to kind of showcase off because I didn't know how to display them in my collection. I didn't know to do it this way without the barcode or with the barcode. I've decided to just like go full barcode, and I really like how all of them together just kind of look nice. But they do different packaging than anybody else right now. It's still kind of like a digipack, but it's different digipack stuff. It just kind of it's A24. They also have cards, but their cards are kind of different. They're not just stills from the film. Are these just stills from the film? Normally they okay, so these are kind of stills from the film, but they also have a couple of like behind the scenes stuff, which I really like. Marcel had behind the scenes stuff. Brutalist did. The Smashing Machine did. Uh, Bring Her Back did not. So the
Marcel
main
has a
reason,
whole booklet, which is really cool.
yeah, the main reason why I grabbed this is because the transfer on Bring Her Back. I had friends over and we had like a movie marathon day. And the first movie we watched was Bring Her Back. And these friends do not collect physical media. They're like, why do you collect physical media? Bring Her Back, the 4K transfer kind of opened their eyes to be like, wow, okay, I
Yeah.
totally understand why you do. Because this transfer looked spectacular. Like they watched once I got home and they were done with this movie, they watched HBO Go or HBO Now, HBO Max. That's what it is. That's what it is now.
There's so many of them.
They because it's streaming on there. They watched it to compare and like not even close. Like just the level of polish and pop and like light, just a whole bunch of different types of HDR pops and Dolby Vision pops that you get. Just don't hit the same when you watch the movie streaming. So if you're looking for a movie to kind of showcase off what the powers of 4K can be, Bring Her Back is a good one. And I do like the slim cases. Again, they look nice together. But then they also have these big boys. Like at first, I was not a fan of these. Like I really like the packaging, and I really like the attention to detail on these because they go full out. Like this, it's expensive. It's like $50, but to me, you're paying for a premium product here. The artwork in here is absolutely spectacular on this sucker. You can see like the bindings inside of the book. Like it's I don't know. There's something about this release. The disc, on the other hand, is bare bones. But
Oh, really?
I feel like the longer that they've been releasing, the more supplemental stuff they put in here. Like, especially on new titles, they just kind of put in what they had for like promotional stuff and behind the scenes stuff. This movie, the most bare bones I've seen in any physical media release, because it opens up to just a black screen that says Midsommar, director's cut, and play. And that's it. Like there's nothing else on this disc. The transfer looks great. And I do have the X trilogy box set right here. It does
Yeah.
a better it does a better job at kind of showcasing off like the whole trilogy in one, which is nice. The transfers look phenomenal. Like A24 is being slept on in their transfers. I feel like they're going even above and beyond what some of like the regular standard new release movies are doing. And then the extra special features that you get on their newer stuff just looks very, very nice. Like A24 to me is a kind of hidden gem that I feel like more people aren't talking enough about. And I thought I'd kind of spread the word a little bit on it.
Yeah, I won't go into any detail because you already covered it, but these are two of my favorite releases right here. The Stop Making Sense 4K looks incredible. And then the Green Knight 4K, like one of my favorite movies of that year. And these booklets are really cool. Like this has like notes and like, I don't know if you've looked through that one, but it has, he actually drew the like thumbnails himself, like the storyboards himself. And they're like all included in there, like his notes on the script and stuff. And this has notes on the script from the director of Green Knight. Like those are awesome. I know you said you didn't like the taller ones at first.
Well, I didn't at first because on my old shelves it wouldn't fit on the shelf like this, so I had it just haphazardly on the top, and I hated it. But I recently put it on these shelves up here, and they fit perfectly. And now I want more of them because they look so nice.
I kind of wish they would go back and do more of these. I'm not as I like these better than because it's like a hard box. Like I like these better than the colored barcodes ones. But they kind of stopped. They did that like the X trilogy one, but they were doing these first and they kind of stopped. So I don't know if they're ever going to do any more of those for singles, but I really like.
I don't know if it's just going to be like a very random, haphazard, like once a year release. Like that's what I kind of see them doing. But yeah, I think they only have like 5 or 6 of like the big box sets like that. But you could randomly find those in Walmart for like a few months ago. Like, they had a whole A24 section with Midsommar and Stop Making Sense. Like those are the two that immediately come to mind. I can't remember if there was a third or not, but these were just in there for $50, just on the end cap shelf. I was flabbergasted when I actually saw that in retail.
Not my Walmarts. My Walmarts suck. They got nothing. Like I saw Ben-Hur. It was like 1 4K and like a sea of DVDs. And I was like,
oh geez,
a 4K at Walmart. It's insane. Our Walmarts around here are terrible.
Yeah, anytime I post Walmart content, they're like, that's not what my Walmart looks like. So I must have like a good hidey hole location. I really don't know how I got so lucky with that. But yeah, every now and again I hop in and it looks completely different. And it's of movies I actually want to add to my collection as opposed to just like a random DVD bin, you know?
Yeah. I feel like the Midwest kind of has a good, there must be a good physical media base there because you guys have some good secondhand stores too.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'm not going to second guess it at all. Right, those are my A24s. So if you have another label, let's hop into it.
I can do a quick one here. Let's do Deaf Crocodile real quick. I don't have too much to show off because one of the things I like about them is how consistent they are. They actually do a hard box limited edition for every single one of their releases.
They do.
You get one of these bad boys with Feel the Day is so good.
Feel the Day is awesome. I love this movie.
That was the first hard box I got from them, like when I first started working with them. But yeah, so they will do a hard box and they will do a Scanavo case, which I love. And then they'll do a nice thick booklet as well. And usually full of like, they get some good stuff in here. They have a line of regulars that they go to every time, but then every once in a while you'll get this Jerzy Barta set that has like a Peter Hames essay in it, which he has like a whole book on the Czech New Wave. This is a Czech film. And this is awesome. They'll do like these director box sets. So this is all of Jerzy Barta's films. You got to check this one out if you don't have this one.
I do have it, but I haven't seen it yet.
He is a director.
What I love about Deaf Crocodile is that they put out so much different animation that I cannot get enough of that type of stuff. And they go around the globe and just kind of put out different stuff that I've never heard of before, like Feel a Day. But when I pop it in and watch it, I'm blown away with what I'm seeing.
Yeah, they do. It is the most diverse, eclectic mix of any of the boutique labels. Like I love it. I love every single release is something completely different, and it's something I've never heard of, which is awesome. Sometimes it's 4K. They don't do a lot of 4K, which is like understandable because of the movies that they're working with. Yep. But when they do a 4K, it looks great. Like I just watched a 4K from them. Feel a Day's a 4K. Every once in a while they'll drop like a really nice 4K, but I feel like they have to do those restorations themselves. I think Craig is doing those himself. So it's understandable that they can't do it every time, but like love the title selection. They're like one of the tops for that because I've never seen anything. It's like every time I see one of theirs, it's like, wow, I've never seen anything like this. And it's completely different. I love that they do the director box sets. Soviet animation. They just put out like 3 volumes of that.
Yeah.
They're doing a Difa like fairy tales box set that's coming out. It's like a bunch of films. You can pre-order it right now. Love Deaf Crocodile. I love the consistency. If you don't want to get the hard box and the limited, you still get a Skinavo. Like they'll still release this. They don't even downgrade you to a standard case. Like they'll give you this. They're great. They're doing great stuff. We mentioned supplements. They're still getting off the ground. They're very new. They're very tiny little operations, so the supplements are not always there. But they'll usually at least give you an audio commentary, a video essay, and some kind of interview. Even if it is, like we said, like an online video call. But they're doing pretty good. I do have to show this one off. This is the only time they've ever done something like this. This was actually a Kickstarter exclusive.
Oh, really?
This is amazing. Like this was kickstarted. This is the only Kickstarter I've ever funded in my life. I was like, I gotta get this because
how long ago was that?
Was it last year or the year before?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I would have assumed that would have been a long time ago before they even had like their standalone label.
This was when they were still in OCN. They were still
yeah.
Doing the slipcover editions before they started the hard boxes.
Yeah.
But what they did was so cool. Like I've never seen anything like this. This was like a crowdfunded thing. So they had already released these 3 films. And this is a Russian director, Soviet director who does amazing production, like fantasy epics. I love these movies. This is Alexander Tushko. And I had these 3. I had to hunt them down because they were already out of print. These are the Vincin slipcovers, so super nice slipcovers. And then, so they had already put these out, like crazy artwork. There's booklets inside each of them, limited editions. Then they put out the Kickstarter because they were doing a 4th one of his films. And they had all these different tiers for the Kickstarter. I've never seen a boutique label do this. It was, you could get just the 4th film and the box set if you already had these and you didn't want to rebuy them. So that's what I did. I'm like, I want a top loader, like beautiful artwork box set to put my movies in and the 4th film. So you could get like just the 4th film as a tier. You could get just the box set and the 4th film, or you could get the box set and all 4 films with like slightly less cool slipcovers because they couldn't like reuse the artwork for rights or whatever. But like, it was so cool that you could like pick and choose what you wanted if you supported. And I just got the box set by itself and like popped my movies in there. Like this is like umbrella style where they have slip covers and they still fit in the box set. Like it's awesome. This is the coolest thing they've ever done. And one of the coolest things I've ever got like from a boutique label. It's really nice.
It's been, God, it's probably been since 2017, 2018 since I've even been on Kickstarter. Like I did a lot of like board game stuff back when, back in like my mid 20s, late 20s. So I did not even know physical media on Kickstarter was a thing. So that just has like my brain going to see like how much of that stuff ever pops up on there. Like I had no idea Deaf Crocodile went on there to do that. That's cool as heck, man.
Yeah, I should shout out Classic Flicks as another label I work with, and they do some Kickstarters too. They're a very small label.
That wasn't even on my radar at all. So I need to start checking that out.
Yeah, I had to make an account to buy that because I had never done a Kickstarter before.
Right. Well, cool. Yeah, no, and their box sets, we both kind of showed off the same size, but they also have bigger box sets that kind of have different types of casing in there. It's a little bit thicker of the Skinavo cases there. So, yeah, they get a little bit more chunky if that's your kind of forte. They have a few like that. But I just started watching the Bill Plimpton catalog that they kind of put out. Hair High was such a fun time. I was not expecting to like that movie as much as I did because the animation style is very rudimentary, but what is kind of being put in there kind of blew me away. Like the story went places that I did not think it would, and I had a really fun time with that movie.
Check out I Married a Strange Person if you liked it, because it is
next on the list.
Wild. Don't watch it with your kids anywhere in the house because it is so obscene. But like that juxtaposition with like the crayon artwork to that stuff that I'm seeing is like, oh, it's crazy.
Very cool. I feel like we haven't talked about Scream Factory and Shout Studios and all of their stuff, but that's because like the releases that they put out to me are kind of samey. They put out steelbooks, which I really like because their steelbooks are very high gloss, and I'm a big sucker for like spot glosses. Like it's not all gloss, but just like certain areas in the steelbook have a glossy effect to like really make it like magnify when you're looking at it in person. a lot of their steelbooks, when it gets like the pre-order announcement, the artwork just does not look that great. But whenever it gets pressed onto a steelbook for them, it always pops, and I always appreciate their steelbooks. I didn't grab any of their steelbooks. I didn't grab any of their slipcovers because they're all kind of just the samey. Like, here's one for Death Becomes Her. Like, it's fine, but like it's very standard. Like, they've been doing this since 2018 or so. What they haven't really done a lot of that I really wish they would have were like these type of box sets. I really enjoy these, and I found the Omen at Walmart a long time ago for like $30, and it's just the entire Fly collection, the entire Omen collection. The Friday the 13th one is one of my favorite box sets that I own. Like, I wish that they would do more complete sets like this, because they really had something, in my opinion. The artwork on this absolutely pops like crazy. They just kind of stopped, and that's one negative that I have with Shout. I have a lot of negatives now. They feel like they are going through the motions now, but like that's the main label that like really got me started collecting boutique labels, is because I found Shout, and they had so many great new special features that I just wanted to sink my teeth into. And like, before even I was collecting 4K, I was collecting a lot of the Blu-rays for Scream, and then I found out what Shout Studios was, and they came out. I'm a big comedy guy. They came out with a lot of like comedies from the 80s and 90s that I wanted to have in my collection, and they had new special features for those too. It's just to see where they were in like 2017, 2018, when I was collecting heavily for them, to now, to where they don't even have a website to sell their own stuff. They kind of just got pushed to Groove. It kind of is a little deflating to think about.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about Shout because that was like right out. I was collecting since like 2010, but I didn't get into the boutiques till Criterion, and like right after that, like 2020, 2019. So like I missed the Shout era that everyone misses.
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot, but it is weird how it's all just like standard stuff, and then all of a sudden they did that like really huge JFK box set out of nowhere for Shout Select. It's like, okay, that's a weird thing to do a big box set for, but that's cool. It is nice that there's like one boutique label that has steelbooks. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
You might be interested. Eureka used to do a lot of steelbooks. They had like a bunch of, they have a Metropolis steelbook. They have a they have a Dr. Mabuza 2 steelbooks. You know that box that you showed at the beginning in like the montage, the Dr. Mabuza set from Eureka?
Yeah. Mabuza lives, yeah.
There's a movie that's not in that set. That's another one of his films that has a steelbook in there, and it's an older release. But yeah, they got some cool steelbooks from back in the day.
Did you know that Second Sight back in the day used to do steelbooks?
I don't think I
like
did.
Very, very back in the day. I have a couple. Like, they did one for Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, wild.
But before Umbrella came out with their 4K, like, this was my holy grail piece, because I'm like, there's no way anybody's going to put out a more definitive edition for Super Mario Brothers than this. Like, the steelbooks that they put out were amazing. I have another one for Return of the Living Dead. They use like really cool artwork and loaded, packed to the gills with special features. I kind of like, I guess one negative in the packaging for these box sets for Second Sight is like the digipacks kind of get a little old to me. They get a little, I don't know. Sometimes the packaging is a little not flimsy, but not as like sturdy as I want it to be, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. It's like the Criterion problem.
Yeah, I love me my steel book. So if they imagine putting a steel book in a nice box set like this, like, to me, that would blow my freaking mind. Sorry, very random tangent, but that just kind of came to mind when we were talking.
Hey, this is random tangent the episode. That's all we're doing.
We're getting late in the game here, so yeah, my brain is haphazard all over the place.
This is stuff I love to talk about, and I have no one in my state to even talk about this kind of stuff with, so I'm having a great time. Real quick, like another adjacent tangent to that, have you collected the Warner Brothers like Zavi exclusive Ultimate Editions at all?
No, I have not went down that rabbit hole.
I just started, and I'm nervous because it's going to be a lot of money eventually. But like, I dipped my toe in with the Wizard. They did a Wizard of Oz one. For some reason, they don't release any in America. It's like I have beef with Warner because they're releasing these great releases only in the UK. We got Wizard of Oz. It's like they were testing the waters to see if we would buy them. I guess we didn't, because they haven't done any more. They just did a gorgeous Ben-Hur one that I just pre-ordered from Orbit.
Yeah.
Like, it's huge.
I guess the movie room does carry those. So I do have a handful. I'm not trying to get like a complete collection or anything. They just announced one for Eyes Wide Shut, a big box set like that.
Oh, nice.
And I don't know what the artwork is or anything on it, but I know it is a steel book for Eyes Wide Shut because that's what we're getting in the States. But they also have a premium coming in the UK. I already have the Criterion 4K, but I will be very tempted to see what is all in that set.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up, because like that's kind of a boutique label that is doing steelbooks, and they are in a hard box. Sometimes the extra stuff is really cool, like the Wizard of Oz set. Sometimes it's not. I just got the Amadeus one. I found it finally on eBay because that one's been very expensive. It's amazing. Really like that. There's a couple of them that I want to track down, but they're very expensive on eBay, and I'm trying not to start collecting another thing because I'm already collecting Eureka and Criterion stuff.
Totally get that.
They're really cool. I wish we got them in America. I don't know why. I guess the UK pays more for boutique stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I wish that they were more readily available here in the States. I mean, you can get them on mom and pop shops like themovieroom.com if you want to, but once they sell out, like they're only allocated X amount from the UK distributor to US. So once they run out, they're not able to really get any more often than not.
Yeah, that's why I pre-ordered the Ben-Hur one, because I know it's going to sell out immediately, because I've never done a pre-order before. That's like something I've been waiting and holding off. I finally did it for that and a couple Eureka things. So
the one that really put them on the map for me, I don't know if you've seen the Exorcist Ultimate Edition that they came out with. It looks like a Bible, and it's like the size of a Bible. I did not know that was a thing until it was already sold out. And then once I saw people unbox it, I'm like, where the fuck did you get that? And they got it over in the UK because the UK puts out amazing stuff.
Ken has one, and he did a video where he said he regretted it. I'm like, well, give it to me, man. What are you doing? We don't want that. How can you regret it?
Amazing. Like, I could not believe that existed. And now that I do, and it's sold out, and I will have to pay hundreds of dollars for it, I'm waiting for the right time to kind of pull the trigger on that one for sure.
Yeah, that's a holy grail for sure. But yeah, good job, Warner Brothers. I mean, they're one of the studios that's doing some cool stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, just kind of do more of that in the States, please. Or please don't go away when you get merged. Like that's my fear. Like the whole US merger, is that going to affect UK stuff? I don't know how that is going to fall. The dominoes are going to fall on that yet.
I have no idea. I'm scared. If it does, those that I'm already trying to find are going to skyrocket on eBay. I'm never going to be able to get them.
Absolutely. Let's not think about that. Let's keep on thinking about boutique labels and pros and cons and stuff. Not the sky is falling. It's not falling yet.
I can do a quick shout out to Radiance if you want to. I know you get a lot of their. I'm very jealous of your partnership with Radiance because they put out some really cool stuff. I actually got one from you. We traded. I got the Ghost Stories box set from you.
Yep.
So they do really cool stuff because they're also a UK label. They do have US editions, but they're UK label. So they have the Scanavo cases, which I love. Hardbox, thick book, and Scanavo cases. And what I like about this, I said I'm turning around on the digipacks. I think I prefer those at this point. But what this model affords you, and this was for some reason I cannot get
doesn't have a pull tab, doesn't have the pull string. Yep.
Every time. Planet of the Vampires, another Mario Bava film, gorgeous release. I finally tracked this one down. You get the hard book, but because it's a Scanavo case, you also get a book inside, and art cards inside. And the art cards are actually cool because they're like the alternate posters. That's something that's
what I prefer. Cool for sure. Yeah.
But you get a booklet in here that is the original short story source material that the film is based on. So you get everything in this. You get the source material, you get the posters, and you get a booklet full of essays, and it's all just for one film. Like this is crazy. And this isn't even one of his like beloved films. Like this is one of his lesser films, and they went to like such a crazy degree with this one. And what I also like about their stuff is I don't think any other boutique label is doing this. Like most of the time, Arrow's hard boxes will just be printed on there. It's just printed. There's no like extra detail. This Haxan release is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Like it's got hollow foil. Like this is printed and it's hollow foil, but this is actually embossed. Like the text is embossed. It's like the silver raised text.
That's like a premium, like steelbook level quality box there.
The back is all hollow. It's not really showing up. It looks just kind of white on camera, but it's like a hollow foil silver. Very and then the inside is like this is a wild bonkers film. I highly recommend this film if you haven't seen it, but it's got like the original poster on there, alternate artwork. art cards. There's Satan's grandmother right there, and the art cards. Like, this is a crazy pseudo documentary, mockumentary, horror 1920s silent film. It's crazy, and the fact that it got this like premium box set. Radiance is awesome. I think the guy who runs Radiance like broke off from Arrow or something, and he knows his way around making awesome box sets.
That might be a reason why Arrow Academy went away. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think he was the guy responsible for that.
It might be, and they're doing closer, but I feel like they really pick their countries. Like, it's a lot of Italian stuff, it's a lot of Japanese stuff. Whereas I think Arrow Academy was doing a lot more like French and English stuff, but maybe they'll get there. Who knows? Maybe they're still very new. Like, Radiance just started, and they're already starting like Transmission, which is another spin-off line.
Which I don't have any of those box sets, but they look very cool. They look very different.
I'm kind of bummed that I didn't get the Stuntman or the Juggler. Night of the Juggler.
Night of the Juggler. Yeah,
they look great. So I'm jealous, but there's just too much, man. I mean, we've been talking for 2.5 hours. There's just so much stuff. We can't collect it all.
We have so much, but yet there's always something to complain about too, DJ. That's just how it goes. Let's see. A label that I have not talked about yet is Severin, and I feel like I should touch upon them packaging wise and special features wise, because I feel like they usually go above and beyond with their special feature stuff. I forgot to grab one, so I'm gonna do that now. I love, like, we talked about the pull tab. Here's a pull tab like on the bottom, which is kind of nice. I'm a big fan of documentaries. So a documentary about a movie theater in the UK was just kind of, I had no idea that this movie even existed, and the fact that they gave it this love and care. And I love, like, a premium packaged product is also something that I like, DJ. Not only do they have, of course, the documentary in here, they also have like different types of, like, here's like a replica ticket stub from the cinema. But then 2 of these are some of the movies that were played exclusively at the theater. So some of the movies that they were talking about in the documentary, you can actually go and watch, and hours of content are in here. So I'm a big fan of this documentary, and I'd never heard of it before Severin put it out. And this is a hard box set and everything. Very, like, I think you would like this specifically, DJ, but I would recommend this to anybody who just likes, I don't know, seeing like a history of a movie theater and how it can kind of become a historical landmark of sorts over time. Very highly recommend that for sure.
No, that seems right up my alley. I hadn't even heard of that. That's really cool.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the only person talking about that movie, because I've talked about it multiple times, but every time I talk about it, nobody has ever heard of it. So they also have these type of box sets that kind of open up like so. And I think the Kickstarter one that you had from Def Crocodile kind of has like this type of effect. I do like how every single one of their Blu-ray releases has a black case. That's kind of like Severin's stamp. Not only is it's not just black, or it's not just blue. I've never seen anybody else just do a black over and over and over again. Those are kind of nice. They also have, I love these. Like, here's one for Game of Clones. I also have all the Hans Be Hours like right off of frame here. But I love these sets because they have, sometimes I'm very on the fence with like these type of packages to where the disc is kind of just housed in here. But if it's a Blu-ray, I'm not too concerned about it. We talked a little bit about it here, but I like these type of booklets because you can read a little bit of the description about it before you actually pop it in. And all of these are chock full of special features and stuff, but I'll grab it. Why the heck not? We're here. All the Hans BRs. This is volume 2. I don't have volume 1, but volume 2, I was shocked at, because volume 1, I didn't know if I'd like the full core stuff at all, but I decided to give volume 2 a shot. Very happy I did, because every movie that I've watched in here is something completely different to me, a movie I've never even heard of before, but they've all been super damn solid. And again, it's another book like a booklet type packaging that slides from the side, but there's just so much goodies to discover and explore. And that's what I've really learned to love about Severin in general, is that like the majority of these movies I've never freaking heard of. Normally with their horror stuff, it can be very hit or miss, like Vinegar Syndrome, but stuff like this that they have, that they deem worthy of putting in a box set like this, more often than not, I'm going to like more than I'm not. So it's just little things like this and unique pieces of packaging like this, very premium product stuff here that I really like from Severin. And I don't know, to me, they just kind of stand out from the pack more than most because they don't do box sets that often. But when they do, they definitely just kind of look nice and they're very top tier, high quality.
I'm just like drooling over here. Like I want all the Hunts BRs box sets so bad.
I missed out on the first one, and it's going for like way too much money for me to buy right now. But Volume 2 is pretty good, pretty solid.
I want it. It has a stop motion animated film that's like by one person who took like 20 years to make it. It's called Blood Tea and Red String. I watched
that one. That's one of the ones I've seen, and that's bizarre, man. That movie is a trip. Yeah,
I had to buy that like a DVD from like the creator's own website because it was never released. And now that it's got a Blu-ray, I'm like, I gotta get that just for that one movie alone. And I'm sure I'll enjoy the other ones. They also have those House of Psychotic Women box sets, Volume 1 and 2.
Yep. I don't have any of those, but yeah, I like those.
The second one has Morgiana in it, which is like a Czech film that I've seen from Second Run, which is another label we didn't even talk about. But I got to get those too. They do too many box sets that I'm interested in. They're way expensive. They also do soundtracks, which I shouted at the beginning. I have Santa Sangre back then, which is
right there. Yep.
Big old box set for one film. It's a digipack. It's got like 5 discs. It's got like 4K Blu-ray and a CD. It's one of my favorite films, so I'm so happy that they did like a definitive release for that too as well.
Right. Okay, I think that's all I had for Severin. I have a couple. Do you have more, right, to show off?
I think I could get away with just this last one. I think I'm good.
I think you have one more, and then I'll do one more on top of that, and then yeah, I think that'll be good. We're gonna hit 3 hours, DJ.
I'm happy to do it.
Getting there.
First Blue Tuber to come back second time. First 3-hour podcast. Yep. We're setting records here. This label, I have such a love-hate relationship with this label. It's more than a label. It's like a whole film foundation. Like they do most of the restorations that a lot of the other labels are taking from. It's Studio Canal. Studio Canal is their own boutique label in the UK. I think most of them become Lionsgate Limited here, but when they want to, they blow it out of the park. Like these are amazing. Like, have you seen these?
I have. It has more of like the pop-up effect to it, right?
It's The Wicker Man. Amazing movie. More folk horror, like you just were talking about. It's magnet. So there you go. And then look at that. Oh, whoops. It has a pop-up. Then that opens up. There's a book inside. There's art cards. Cool. It's kind of second sighty. So there's like a whole digipack in there as well. They need a pull tab is what they need, so I can easily get this out of here. Look at this. You're getting real time how difficult it is without a pull tab. Digipack. Everything, the same thing as Second Sight, except they do like this creative kind of pop-up packaging. This is the most creative thing I've ever seen. This is the Third Man. And we'll see if it'll still
the music box. I know. That's so cool.
Oh, it didn't do it. Maybe if I open up this part. Oh no! Oh, okay. I thought it maybe died on me. I was like, oh, I think it's when you open the second part. Yeah. One of the best scores ever.
Absolutely, yeah.
Great film noir. Have you seen this film?
Well, I have the second, or I have the Lionsgate Limited 4K, but I have not watched it yet. No.
This also has the complete shooting script with notations on it in here. I don't want to open it because it's going to keep playing music, but these are so good. But they never do these. I think there's only like 2 or 3 of these, and I have 2 of them. Very happy. So that's one downside, is that they're very inconsistent. They release all kinds of different releases. The other downside is these dumb rating bubbles that they.
I was just going to mention that, yeah.
And they refuse to make them stickers. And that even though like all of us complain about it, it really just like takes the shelf presence away. Like you want to just look and see a bunch of things, and then it's just like, and they can't stay consistent with them. They're like always different. Like I have a couple examples here. So they do those 2. They do this one, which is still pretty big, but smaller. And then the rating bubbles are different.
Different colors,
just like a digipack. So that's like the only one of its kind looks like that. Lady Killers. Then they do these ones, which are like just Arrow Video, like slimmer hard boxes with the digipack and poster and art cards. They've done a couple of those. I have about 3 of those. And then they also did. That was a 4K. Those are all 4Ks. And then this is just a Blu-ray, but it's not a hard box. It's just like a like a
Ooh.
cardboard slip. So it's like my second sight collection next to each other looks awful because they're just all different sizes, different colors. Even like one of the hard boxes I have doesn't have the Ultra HD 4K logo on the side where all the other ones do, even though it is a 4K. Like they're just really inconsistent with their design, and like it's kind of a mess. But the restorations are always amazing. They do like some of the best restorations, and they farm them out to everybody else. They do like super creative stuff sometimes. I've never seen a music box, but they just got to get their stuff together because they're just all over the place with their design stuff.
I will say though, the gold bar on top of all of them, very nice touch. I was digging that a lot.
Yeah, that looks cool. That's their vintage classics line. And they have some other stuff that's not part of this line. Like I know they have a big Outsiders box set that I want to get. That's really cool. It's like a big one like this. And they're doing a Guillermo del Toro film. They just did a hardbox 4K for The Devil's Backbone.
Yep, that I have that on pre-order. Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna have to do it. I got to pre-order it. And we didn't mention it before, but Kerzon did a 4K for Kronos, which I also have to get because he's like top 5 director for me. So I want to have.
I think those. I didn't know there was a Kerzon. I have that one and I've seen that one. So yeah, I have more Kerzon than I thought I did. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, Studio Canal, love, hate. Great stuff, but they're kind of a mess. Hopefully they'll settle in and kind of stick with one style from now on.
Well, lastly, instead of talking about boutique releases, I'm just going to talk about mainstream releases from studios that put out some amazing packaging from time to time. One type of packaging that we haven't talked about yet is the media book. And I really love me a media book because number one, it's a little bit taller than your average case. It stands out. The imagery on there looks nice. I keep on doing the hard like knock test. You get that with this. This was found. I bought this at Target back when Target was selling physical media. It was readily available in the States. States don't do it this much. I know of this, and I know of Chain Reactions, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre documentary that got these media books like this. Besides them, like over in Germany is where media books are really coming out hot and heavy. Like Turbine has so many great looking media books. Oh god, I can't remember the other label in Germany, but they keep on going back and forth with like putting out great looking releases like this. Like everything about a media book I really like, but yet there's not enough of them coming out. So just wanted to kind of shout out the media book. And then lastly, love me my steel books. They don't really change in packaging all that often. This has only been released for this movie, and it baffles me why they have not released any more. And that is this guy right here, the Fabello case. Here's one for Sleepy Hollow. It just looks kind of like a regular steel book, but you can see like some of the gaps are missing right here. And that's because you open it up and there's a storybook inside. Whoa. Like this is and there's a hardcover inside of this. And then you open it up and it's the short story of Sleepy Hollow, which is very damn cool. And then on the inside, you get this is even a Blu-ray. It wasn't even a 4K, but nicely padded there too. Like this sold out so quickly. So I know it was successful for Paramount when they released this. Have no idea why there has not been a secondary like release whatsoever of this. It just feels so cool. You can see this if I can show it off, like you can see like a hardcover spine in here too. So the elements of a hardcover book are inside of a steel book like this. The metal is a little bit on the thinner side, but still feels like a premium product because of like the heft and weight of this book. I need more of these in my life. So I guess I wanted to end this just with why aren't there more of these? Like this edition is amazing in my collection, and I just want more. I want more of these badly.
That is insane. I had never seen. I think I've seen that like on eBay, but I've never seen the inside of it. That's awesome. I love that.
It's very cool looking, and I was lucky to get my hands on that in its initial release, not knowing what it was, just knowing that hey, it's a different type of packaging steelbook. So once I got it in my hands, I'm like, wow, this is really unique. And I don't think enough people either forgot that this existed. They didn't print a lot of these pressings either. So once they were out, they were out. And I don't know. I can think of so many implications to put a story. Like you could do some of like the old school Disney books with like a Disney book inside of here, or like the Marvel movies with a comic book. Like I can just think of like so many different ways to make this work. Princess Bride would work great on something like this if it wasn't already done from Criterion, but I need more. I need more, DJ.
That's crazy, especially for you, man. You're the steelbook guy. You got to get.
I know.
Gotta get more
And
of
some
those.
steelbooks are always the same damn thing over and over again, which I love. But like seeing something like that, evolving the steelbook, I just want to see more of that happen and develop. So, yeah, I thought that was a good place to kind of end. I could talk about Lionsgate Limited and how they do a whole bunch of great looking steelbooks, but then also do great, unique looking box sets. I could do a lot of different, more boutique-y stuff, but I think that's a good place to end it here regardless, because we could be talking all night, DJ. I could talk your ear off about packaging till the cows come home.
I absolutely, man. I could go back there and grab a bunch more stuff. Like there's more unique. I only grabbed a few from each label, but there's a lot of unique stuff back there. I like I said, I have no one to talk about this stuff with. My wife is wonderful. Like she puts up with this. She loves watching movies with me. But even she'll start to like nod off if I start just talking about this packaging and special features and stuff. That's a little much.
I did mention to my wife what I was talking about today, and she doesn't know much about like boutiques and whatnot, but she did mention this, and I forgot to mention this, so thank you. She said a con for some packaging, like just a standard Blu-ray package, the Econo cases, they're such garbage. I hate them with a passion. They feel so flimsy, and I don't like them. Don't like them at all. So I would have totally forgot to even mention that if it wasn't for my wife.
Yeah, we didn't even talk. I mean, there's a lot of cons we could talk about with studio releases, but like for the boutiques, most of them are doing great stuff. I feel like we could still hone it a little bit to make it, optimal. I feel like if we could put together like an arrow, indicator, umbrella, like the definitive like kind of release, because Eureka doesn't do art cards. They're like the one. So maybe
That's
sometimes they do.
Good for them, yeah.
But like they're pretty close to perfect. I love Eureka. Indicator, Kerzon, and then like umbrella is top tier as well. We didn't really talk like rank any of them, but like we talked about a lot of stuff tonight. So I had a great time. Thanks for having me.
That can be a third time you come on. We can start ranking the boutique labels, because that would be a fun discussion as well. I think I've only done 1 or 2 ranking videos on Boutique Talk, but every time I do, I feel like I want to do more and more of them, because there's so much you can talk about boutique labels, and we just talked about packaging for 3 hours. I don't even know what that conversation would be like just talking about the labels as a whole. That's just a whole nother can of worms to open, but I kind of can't wait to do it now.
Dude, that'd be a great conversation, because like you said, we're different. We have very different tastes. We collect different things, so it would be hard to rank. I don't know how we would agree. We couldn't. I don't think we could agree on a ranking. It would have to just go back and forth. But
I'm putting that in my notes for podcast ideas, and I'm putting your name next to it. So some point in the future, you're going to come back on whether you like it or not.
Dude, I will come back anytime. I would do this weekly with you, like having someone that is this nerdy and like neurodivergent about this stuff as I am. Like, it's great. I get all my thoughts out in one 3-hour go.
Yep. Nope. I love doing it, and I appreciate you coming on here once again on the podcast. So it's been a pleasure, man. Is there anything that you want to plug before we get out of here?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm just follow me over on Films by Color. I'm not putting out as many videos as I used to, because just life stuff. But I'm trying to at least get out 1 or 2 a week, and it's fun. I'm talking about only pretty much exclusively boutique stuff these days. So if you liked any of the stuff we talked about, that's what I'm covering over there. And that's where I'm at. I'm only on YouTube now. I stopped the TikTok and Instagram thing. I couldn't keep up with it. I don't know how you do it, man, keeping up with all that stuff. I was like, I just got to focus on one thing and do the best I can at that. But I'm always amazed by your work ethic and your ability to get so much stuff up.
Well, I've been doing it for so long now every time I open up TikTok every day, it says like what I posted on this day. So some videos that I do are already I've done like 3 or 4 years ago that I'm just reposting that people have not seen yet. So now I've put in enough of a body of work to where it's like, okay, even though I'm taking a video that I did a long time ago, it's still kind of new to a completely different audience that I didn't have when I originally posted. So yeah, I'm still posting a video a day. It's just not a new video from me. I don't know if I could keep up with that schedule nowadays anyway.
I guess I should plug I have an essay in the upcoming Umbrella box set for the Universal Monsters, which you were the one who recommended me and got me in there to do that. So thank you so much for that. It's been a long time coming. It's been over a year since we started talking about that, but it's finally coming out, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be really cool. I'm excited about the box set just as like a fan, but it's also cool that I'm like included in there.
Very, very much so. I did a podcast about my time making Freaked. I plan on doing another one with the Dirties, but I kind of want to have you on, and I want to have Aaron Pym on. I haven't talked to you about this yet, but I kind of want to have a conversation with all three of us about just the process of what it kind of took to where we started with that project to where it eventually ended up, and all of like the highs and lows. I did a conversation with that on the Beyond the Blood podcast with the producer of that piece. But I feel like there's still like more to dig into just on kind of our level of things. So yeah, if you're down, that might be the next time that you're on.
Yeah, sure. Are we allowed to reveal that stuff? Like what it was?
According to the producer, we are wide open to kind of tear apart that can of worms.
Oh, cool. Because that'll be great for people to know. Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, why aren't there supplements? There's a lot that goes on that we don't even see as just fans. And there's usually a reason. Like they want to do cool stuff too, and it's just tough. So I'm excited for that conversation.
Yeah, there's a big reason, and more importantly, like a big roadblock that just kind of got put up at the 25th hour, and it was not fun. But we can get into that in a different day. We are at 2 hours and 55 minutes. It's been a pleasure, DJ. Thanks again for coming on. But this has been episode number 52 of Boutique Talk. And until next time, I'll see you.